And we are live. Welcome to The Last Word with Lord Cognito and Ebontis, fresh on that Friday campfire morning. How we doing, sir? We got somebody special today? What's going on today, man?
Yeah, we got a great friend of the show. It's been a pretty good week. It's a light week for its while, but we definitely got plenty to talk about with this awesome gentleman. So we're going to flip it old school here. We're going back to you, sir. Let's bring this man in.
No doubt. Welcome to The Last Word, episode number 114. It's another glorious Friday. We're back in front of the campfire for some more looter-shooter discussion. I'm extremely excited about our special guest, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who's not only a close friend to the campfire and the realm of the IOP, but whose positivity within the Destiny community and unmatched passion for our favorite Bungie franchise is clearly his forte. Introducing the creator and host of the Gaming Forte YouTube and Twitch channels and a panelist for the Scumcast and Brat podcasts. Our favorite nautical hunter and the guardian who will always co-sign Wrath of the Machine as his top raid and flawlessly pump-stomping 3-win or less foes in trials.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. Live from Michigan. Woo. And making his long overdue debut at the campfire of The Last Word. My man, Lord Gaming Forte. How you doing, sir?
Man.
Oh, man. What's up, man? Let's I'm going to put this, I'm trying to compare this to the one on IOP, and you outdid yourself, so.
Oh, there we go.
The one on IOP was good. I was wondering if E was good. I was like, who's going to do this today?
Oh, it had to be Cognito this morning. It had to be Cognito.
Now, I was sitting there. I actually went back and listened to episode, I forget what episode it was, but it was March 22nd with Slow-Mo on it. And I was like, yes. I got to see who he gives the better intro to. Oh! I was like, because
you were analyzing during this.
Oh, we was analyzing. I was like, I got to see, because last time.
He over here taking notes, be like, okay, that's a plus. Oh, that's a minus over here.
You gonna hold that against me?
Well, yeah, because the last time we did this, Slow-Mo, me and Slow-Mo both did IOP at the same time.
Yes. That is correct.
It was like, oh, I got to see who got the better intro. So I will say I beat him.
Yes.
There we go.
Bro,
but he might
those
say
bragging
something
rights.
different.
I had so much information with you, so it was about picking what I wanted to talk about. So it's just like, all right, what I want to talk about, what I want to tease him with, what I want to have fun with, what I want to celebrate him with. You know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace, Nautical.
Yes, rest in peace, Nautical. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to get that because, listen, this is the joke, y'all, for the chat who doesn't know. You know, Forte, he helps us out tremendously. Both of our clans, he helps Ebontis out. He helps me out, Iron Law Podcast. And like, we know him as Gaming Forte on Twitter and all these other things, but the world, I mean, in Destiny, his profile is nautical. So when I would play with him, it would just bother me because I didn't want to, like, for people who don't know him and we're in a fire team, I got to say nautical. I'm like, that's not his name, though. His name, he's Forte to me. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. So salute to you for actually merging the whole gamer tag thing.
Yeah, I did. But the fact that I had to put it on my Twitter because people was like, why'd you change it? And all this other stuff. And I put up there, I was like, man, I had to do something because people was getting. I got tired of answering different questions about who's this person, who's that person, and if anybody didn't know, the reason it was nautical is because I went to school for marine biology. Cool. So my love of the water, nautical, all made sense. So I was one of those gamer tags that actually had a purpose behind it. So I still have it. Shout out to Randall Thor. He made his video. Showed me how to actually still preserve my original nautical. I had to make a separate account, and the moment I switched everything over to Gaming Forte, I made a separate account that picked up the nautical name, so I can go back and get it at any time. I just got to pay the $10 if I want to go back.
If you want to, look at you, copyright protection. Look at him.
Oh yeah, he's got to be branded. I mean, we got to brand. We got to protect it.
Yeah, right? Just like the Redskins, somebody.
Oh
my Lord.
Are we jumping in? Are we doing that this morning? All right.
We going early. We going in. Hey. So look, man, obviously we got a lot of stuff, a lot of questions for you. So I'm going to let E set off the questioning, you know what I'm saying? Because we know you, but a lot of the world don't know who the Forte is, man. So what questions we got for the man, the legendary hunter here?
Yeah,
No.
I'm just gonna start with the old school stuff, just because I liked how long you've been gaming. So we've all been gaming for a little while, but yeah, like what was the history in gaming for you? Just a little brief, like how long's it been, and then also just some top games through the history of all gaming. We know Destiny's obviously in there, but some other ones that some high ones between the older generations. What have been some loves?
Oh man, so like I said, it's Atari 2600 is where it all started at. And the funny thing is, I can't remember one game I played on that system because my one memory of having that system was I got it when I was 8, and it was my first system. But I came across it in a funny way because it was a Christmas gift, and this is when parents didn't know how to hide their gifts very well. So we had a attic, and shout out to houses that have attics. But I had an attic, so she put like a big trash bag on the stairs going up to the attic because we never used to go up there. And I just happened to go up there. It's like, what's in this giant bag that's sitting on the stairs? So of course I rambled through this at 8 years old, and I saw, ooh, Atari 2600. Act like I didn't see it. So I will always remember, even though I don't remember none of the games I played on it, because it was like like very blurry back then. Because I was into like soccer, baseball. I did everything when I was younger back then, and so I don't remember exactly I played it, but that was the first system I had. Nice. But it all started with really NES.
Nice.
NES was the first system that I truly realized that this hobby was more than just a hobby. It was like the point where your friends would be outside and he's like, no, man, I'm in here playing Mega Man or something, man. It's like,
you two are friends now.
It was like Mega Man 2 and 3. Dr. Wily's Castle theme for me. Like, I still go pull that thing up on Spotify every now and then.
Wow.
Like, man. Mega Man.
Wily's Castle.
Mega Man's one of those games, I think, that trained us for like some of the stuff we face now.
Yeah, that was the Dark Souls of its time. Mega Man was the Dark Souls of it. It was evil.
If you like, when you go back, because I got the Mega Man collection recently. I don't know when it came out, more recently, and it has the save states in there, and it's so easy to just like, oh, I'm gonna save right here before this crappy jump. Be like, nope, died. Cool. And it's like, as opposed to you get 2 lives and you start the whole damn level over again, and it's just like, oh. No, Mega Man's the Dark Souls like patience and gaming trainer. That's what that is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to where you were. Sorry, I just had to talk about it.
I will never stop anybody when they're talking about Mega Man. that game was very influential in things that I started liking. I mean, to the point where I did a flawless run of that whole game when I was probably like 14.
Damn.
I literally stayed up like probably 18, 19 hours, trying to do this run. And I finally got it. Like, I remember it was like 1:30 in the morning when I got it. My brother's like 3 years younger than me. He's sitting next to me like, he wants me to get it, but he's sitting up there like, yo, you gonna mess up. I'm like literally jumping on the platforms with the dragon and stuff, trying to take the dragon off. He's like, no, you gonna mess up. I said, leave me alone. Like, dog, it was epic. So I remember
your first flawless raider achievement before it existed.
That's my very first one.
Solo flawless right there. We'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah, and then that took me into games like Contra, doing stuff in that. Beating the game without the 30-man code. Man, that was
salute to the up, down, though. What's up? Salute to that.
Oh yeah, the Konami code, the code that y'all always wondered. Like, I do know that the magazines print that stuff, but the fact that how information got around, when we were that young, is pretty incredible.
No social media,
social media. How did people know that they had to stick their cartridge in just a little bit just to make the click to make sure that their game worked? Like, how do you demonstrate that in a paragraph?
Yes, it's a good point. That's a good point.
So
man.
I always wondered that, but it's like, people just, word of mouth just flies when it comes to video games. So so NES was the jam. Then after that, it went straight into of course, it went to SNES. SNES,
Yes.
first time that you saw, that's when I got into sports games and stuff with Madden and everything.
Ooh, yes.
Yep, that's when Madden went to not having, I believe that's the year that it went to not having the passing windows then. So, yeah, that jumped. Actually, I take that back. That's not when it has. That's when they had
I played Tecmo Bowl, so I think sports was earlier.
You talking about you talking about Bo Jackson's simulator? That's
Tecmo
what that
Bowl
was.
and Super Tecmo Bowl. Yep.
Yes. Nah, this was
that
kind
was-
of based on Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Rice, little Roger Craig. You know what I'm saying?
Joe
I got to talk about that in the talk. I'm sorry.
I think Bo
football.
Jackson definitely was tops in that game.
Yeah, no, Bo Jackson was unstoppable. Like, it was ridiculous.
It's like,
they-
stats 12,000.
Yep. Then you go over to Sega and get Joe Montana Sports Talk, where you actually had announcements
Yes.
in the game.
Yes.
awesome.
First time and voice. Yeah, voice. Yep.
Yep. And then I remember I got super into live when the year before Allen Iverson went to the NBA. That's when they had the whole creative character thing was a huge thing.
Yes.
And nobody had a concept of making their characters like, I'm gonna make this character balanced. No, I'm just gonna make everything 99 overall.
I mean, that's what you're gonna do.
That's what everybody did. It was like, well, I guess everybody's players are gonna be, and then you literally would have legit games against people with characters that are 99 overall. Like, you're really gonna miss a shot.
Ridiculous. I remember those days.
Yeah, so, but, like I said, that's where the love started at, but then the fire got lit when Xbox came out. When, even before Xbox, it was the game called Halo, and Bungie showed it off at Macworld, and we was like, it's gonna be on PC. And I was like, oh, that's fine. I don't care. Because, I don't, even then I didn't have like this thing, like I have to have this one console. I wasn't strictly Nintendo, Genesis, or anything like that. I was like, wherever the games are, I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, it's going to be on PC. And I'm like, cool. So I went out and bought a Voodoo 500 because it was literally a Voodoo 500, bro. Because it was the card that was promoted with I would say Destiny with Halo on the Halo on the back of it. Nice. And this is when Halo was an RTS at that point. Yes. They didn't change it over to a first person shooter
Bungie.
yet.
Yes, the
so I
concept.
went to Best Buy and spent $200 and something on this graphics card. As what was I, like 16, 17? And bought that, and I was like, cool. And then literally 6 months later, Microsoft bought Bungie and made it a first party exclusive. And they said, oh, and on top of that, we have this system called Xbox coming out. So all my thoughts and everything, I was like, well, I'm sitting with this graphics card. So I just started playing a bunch of PC games like Star Wars Armada and Black and White, the God games and stuff like that.
I played that.
Yep. Like, dude, the amount of the amount of time I put into games like Black and White is ridiculous. Like staying up to like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Trying to help this civilization live or some crap
or
like
pick them up and just throw them.
Yeah, just throw them. Yes, you can just literally throw people. So
the hand of God. Yeah, shout out to my brother for showing me that one.
Oh man, it was beautiful. Then you got the creatures walking around. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is crazy. Yeah. But then so when Xbox announced that they were so when Xbox announced that they were doing the system, I was all in 100%. I went to it wasn't called fan, it was basically their launch party. I went to New York to actually be a part of it. Yes, I was there.
Bro, I was there for the original OG joint. Because that was
in New York?
I was in New York. Yeah, that Bill Gates, The Rock was there.
Yep.
It was like literally a lot of people wouldn't realize why I have such a tie to Xbox is that one, they launched the OG in New York.
In New York.
Two, it's my birthday. November 15th is when that's when it launched. So it was like, yo, I gotta have this system now. And then obviously the Bungie tie with Halo. So it all kind of makes sense for my love for Xbox and Bungie and all that stuff. It literally all came together at that. That's crazy. Yo, I didn't know you. We were in the same. Wow. Shout out to Neil. Bill Melton know what time it is. He's New York too. So that was a big thing for New York City. Like, they launched the Xbox. It was huge. And it was such a spectacle. They had all the stars come out for their console. That's crazy you were there. Wow.
Microsoft has the money. They're like, We gotta.
Yeah,
we're new.
Bill's
We gotta get some celebs in here.
You gotta get some people in here.
Yeah, man. My mom is a traveling nurse, so she was she worked on strikes and stuff. So they were it was like hospitals there were striking at the point. So she was working there. So it like made it super easy to just go to New York and like stay with her. Cause we were me and my brother, like I was 18, 19 at that time. My brother was like 16. So we were staying at the house while, we were kings living at home, no parent. so she was like, we were talking to her about the Xbox stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, I heard about that. That's going to be literally downtown and stuff. And she was like, if y'all want to come, y'all can just stay in the hotel with me. So I didn't have to pay for a hotel.
Oh man,
so
there you go.
So it literally just worked itself out. I drunk way too much Surge because shout out to Surge.
Shout out to Surge. They were giving those out like crazy.
They were giving those things out like water at that thing.
Yes, that was the original Advanced GG.
That's the original like Red Bull Rockstar.
Yeah. Get your heart rate up. Crazy.
Oh man,
Jesus, it was terrible.
Terrible drinks.
Yeah, so that was cool. Met a lot of cool people from Xbox back then, and I probably walked right by you, didn't even know.
Bro, we probably did. We were in the same space. How crazy is that? That's crazy.
It was crazy down there, and then everything is like history from there. I mean, after Halo literally changed the opinions of what a first-person shooter on a console was.
Facts.
Before that, it was like this isn't going to work on a console at all. And then holding that giant Duke controller. Shout out to that thing. It's like, how do we even play with that controller, man?
Yeah, shout out to the Duke. Yeah,
shout out to the Duke. Shout out to the S, the redesign.
Yes, the redesign.
That thing was beautiful. Duke. Yeah, the Duke, man. And then everything just literally just kept going up from there when it, Xbox Live came out the year later. You never realize how much you wanted to just have competition with people.
Yes.
Until Xbox Live came out.
Absolutely.
I was there day one, $79.99. Went to the mall to go buy the kit with the headset.
How about the little wireless receiver that you could get on the back of the 360 too? Oh my god.
Yeah, man. It was would have got all that, and then Halo was always a staple, but I will tell you where competitive. Like, shout out to the competitive side of things.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon.
Ooh. Classic.
Classic. If I had to like say outside of Halo, my favorite game on original Xbox was Ghost Recon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The original Graw, and that had Xbox Live. Yep. I was blown away just being able to talk to people and play that game at the same time.
Yep.
Truly a game changer. Absolutely.
I don't know if you guys know him, but CD in the Third, everybody probably knows him. He streams a lot on different things. He streams Fortnite, PUBG, everything. That's the man that I always he's huge now. But that dude is the dude that got me into competitive. To the point where we would be running. I was in a huge clan back then, and he would literally show me how to do drop shots, how to look and survey maps and stuff, how to be able to move and get in and out of different areas of games, or different engagements and stuff, and play in tournaments. I got to the point where I would do game battles when the website where you would go in there and just do clan stuff. I would literally set tournaments up for Ghost Recon and everything for people in there. I did a huge solo tournament that we did in there. So that's when the competitive fire literally started burning. And then Halo 2 came out. Then it was history after that. So
2 and 3 are something special.
That's how the history went. I mean, there's other systems. The PlayStation came up after that because shout out to them. Once they showed Madden with stadium lights, it was over.
It was over. Yeah, I remember that. I remember how big the polygons was. I was going crazy. I remember that joint. It was definitely game changing.
Shout out to Sony making everybody have to buy. Oh, not Sony. I ain't gonna say Sony. Shout out to Best Buy because I worked at Best Buy then. Literally, in order to buy a PlayStation 2, you had to buy 3 items with it.
Yes.
You had to buy 3 items with it. They made you buy the system. You had to buy a controller or 2 controllers in a game or the memory card, which most people was going to do with it was because you had to have memory cards.
Yep.
I literally, that was the first time I did an overnight for a system. which was probably the most incredible overnight I ever did. Shout out to all those people. They was having pizza. It was like 600-700 people outside the store.
Jesus.
I got my PlayStation at 8:00 in the morning and had to be back to work at 11 o'clock that afternoon. That same morning. So I literally went home just to hook my system up, play one game against my brother, and go back to work.
Jeez. Yo, this man's a legend, right? He talking real gamer talk, tremendous history, brother. Like, you know, we go on and on. But I got to ask you, bro.
Yeah.
I got to ask you. So, you know, the reason why we're here at the campfire.
Oh, Lord. Yes, the campfire.
Me and you have this, you and he have this infatuation with this certain game. And one thing I always give you credit is like, being a Destiny fan is sometimes not the easiest thing because it's like we kind of get attacked while we're playing this damn game. You know, whatever. Or Bungie's ripping you off. All the stuff, your abuse you get as a Destiny fan. But there's always those few people that you can count on to hold you down. And that's my man Forte. You have always been a staunch defender of this game. So I got to ask, from a Destiny standpoint, how did that start? When did the love really kick in? And you're like, yo, this is my game. I don't care what nothing nobody say. Like, how did that whole thing take place?
Oh, man. So as soon as the whole breakup from Microsoft happened, I was like, okay, that sucks. But because I mean, at this point, like, this is my favorite franchise. Like, Halo is my favorite franchise. So I was like, all right, so it is what it is. And the inklings of them making a new game was already very apparent because they were putting stuff in ODST and everything like that. So when we saw the Traveler for the first time in that game, it was like, oh, what's this new thing they're making? So once they announced Destiny and they showed it at E3 that year on Sony stage, it was a wrap. I was like, yo, first of all, I want people to stop doing this fake call out stuff, like, you know, the chatter over the thing. Like, this makes actually no sense. Just show the game. I don't care about all these different people, like how they do with Rainbow Six, and they have the people
Ubisoft
talking.
Ones are so bad.
Oh my God, break. And like, no, stop doing that. Just show me the game. So, Bungie did that, and fine, I overlooked it because I was like, what I'm seeing is pretty incredible. You know, when you look at it now, the tank battle seems like very minuscule compared to where Destiny is now. But back then, seeing people drop into the game like seamlessly, I was like, dude, this is crazy. And got into the beta, loved the beta, didn't know that the beta literally was 3/4 of the game.
Shout out to Cosmodrome.
It's not that, it was a quarter. It's about a quarter. But yeah, it was
okay,
big.
a quarter.
You
of the
had
game.
one of 4 planets.
It felt like more than that. No, because the Cosmodrome was most of the game.
It was a lot. Yeah,
it was a lot.
So so we did that, got into the beta, loved that. Then the game launched, and I'm not gonna lie, I told my love for Destiny did not happen overnight. It was a process. It was more of nothing could fulfill what Halo had gave me, and Destiny was the only thing on the market that could do it. Gotcha. And over the course of time, Destiny won out. But there was a while where I was telling my friends, my fire team, I was like, I don't like this game. This story is trash. Literally, I was like, this story's bad. Because I always tell people, Halo was all about the story.
Yes.
It was never about the multiplayer. It was never about that. It was always the story. The multiplayer just kept you engaged. Yes. It was the reason you kept playing the game. But you bought Halo for the magical story they gave you. Right. And I went into Destiny with that same premise, thinking that the
Bungie,
same people that
have that same level of story. It's gonna be, and it wasn't
gonna be there.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
So it wasn't there. It wasn't on that level. So the things they had in the game were cool, but I was in a whole completely different headspace, and I just wanted story. Like it's completely opposite of what I am now. It's like multiplayer for days, but it's like it took a while. So I told my friends, when Halo Master Chief Collection comes out. I'm out. I said, I'm out. It.
Enough of this Destiny game.
I'm going back home. I'm going back to playing the game that I enjoyed the most. It didn't launch.
I know, that's the whole point.
It didn't launch.
I was like, that was a trash fire upon turning that thing on. That was painful to watch.
So
such a broken game.
So this goes back to like I was saying about when I was telling UCOG, I was like, the first time I beat Vault of Glass was in hard mode because I couldn't stand that game. Like my friends were running it. My original raid team had already picked up another person and everything. So they were running raids every week. I didn't truly jump into the game, like fully jump in until Dark Below came out.
Got you.
Once Dark Below came out,
was it Dark Below was the magic moment? What was the magic moment that it's like, okay, yo, I'm in. I'm sticking with this now. Like I'm here. I get it.
The first time I realized that I could help people in the game, and it was more because like once I started meeting new people, like not just the people I had on my friends list already, the friends list started growing, and then people just started asking me to do stuff, run sword for them in Crota's End, and then just knowing that you could have an impact outside of just playing the game. And I was like, dude, this is something. This is more to this game than just the devices that it puts in front of you. It's like, yes, you enjoy the things that's happening. I still give Bungie crap every chance I can about not putting story in the game. And they're doing a lot better now. They just need to do even more better with the next DLCs that we see. And it looks like they're heading in that direction. But I think anybody that plays Destiny will always have a love-hate relationship with this game. It just comes down to how the game, it's like, what has the game done for you lately? And now,
that's a good point.
Right now, the game is in a place where it's like, it's not really doing anything for you because it's like they extended it and we're waiting for quest stuff to start coming up. So a lot of people that hate on the game really say, well, why do you still play that game? Well, that's because this game is nothing like this game. Nothing. Things have tried to be this game.
Big words right there. Why
is there nothing like it?
Nothing like it? Because there's you know what happens, right? There's always a new game that comes out, and it's the Destiny killer.
And fails.
But why? Why don't these games hold up? Why does Destiny survive all these onslaughts? Break it down.
Gameplay. One thing, gameplay. You tell me another game. Well, you tell me another first person. First of all, every game tries to do it differently. First of all, none of them is something more intimate about that camera being pulled in and you seeing just that gun. It's something very intimate about that. Second of all, there has never been a developer that can give you even a 30 frame experience that even matches anything else in gaming when it comes to like just the play of the game. Strong words. When you go into Crucible and the way that the movement is, the way that you can literally out outthink people that have the same thing you have. You don't have that in other games. Like as much as Call of Duty is one of the most popular games in the world, that's more about reflexes, where Destiny is all about, you can have a way better shot than somebody, but if you think, you can literally outplay anybody in this game. And that even comes down to the single player experience. The single player period is just unmatched to this game when it comes to the levels of enjoyment you can have. There's something for everybody in this game. Literally everybody.
We in church right now. He preaching. Keep talking.
No, it's literally nothing. I truly believe there's nothing any game can truly do to take this game down. And I heard Ibanez say it the other week. He's like, a lot of games try, but Destiny will never fail. It can't fail at this point. It's too many people support this game on a day-to-day basis. Anytime you look at daily engagement numbers, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 million people play it every day. You tell me a game that doesn't annualize itself with a new release every year that does that. And that's the thing that people don't realize.
I mean, we've watched Anthem, we've watched Division twice. I mean, you've got something like Outriders coming, which potentially looks fun. But I mean, it's like the live service game of this type is... They found a special place because they took the space magic part And that's one of the reasons for me, like, Division never sticks long run. Stuff like survival is cool, but like if you even their raid, it's still like down to earth. So the mechanics can only be like shoot a vent on a box over here. And I know that's like dumbing it down when they're on the airfield and stuff, but it's different than even some of the mechanics we have now of like standing in light and dark and dealing with these things in the dungeons. And you've got, Garden of Salvation with all these. When you go sci-fi, when you go fantasy, you have a chance to get with so many more different mechanics. And then as you said too, when it comes to the PvP side of things, the most skilled people that I probably watch in this game they shoot well, no question. Shroud shoots well, Ninja can shoot well. There's a lot who can shoot well. Lupo, like the big names shoot well, but the ones that I watch in this one are impressive. And that's kind of why Fortnite is actually impressive for me to watch too, is movement. Yeah. Movement in this game, the way like hunters will dodge, jump, the way I've seen people like manage the Warlock Phoenix Dash and some of the stuff I've seen. Same thing with Fortnite, the people who are good at building. It's like the stuff outside of just the shooting that takes somebody to a next level. And this is one of those few games that adds multiple layers on top of shooting to make the skill ceiling so high.
Absolutely. Got it. Got 100% agree. I mean, that definitely, and I think also, for me, it's also been abilities, right? Because, it's besides just gunplay, that power fantasy, you feel like you have more tools at your disposal and things and that you can implement, which make it more fun to me. And I'm not really a competitive PvP guy. Like, that's not really my nature like that in most games. But there was something about Destiny. The only that freaked me out is when I remember playing it for the PvP for the first time. I'm like, what's this weird voice? Like, I wasn't used to Shaxx when he first debuted. Like, it was a little weird. I was like, is this opera singer guy? Who is this guy talking? Like, it was just weird. Like, it gotta be real. Didn't we all feel a little... Well, it took us a while to get adjusted to Shaxx, I would say. And then,
I wasn't ever thrown off by him like that.
I was thrown off.
He was just part of the game, man.
It just felt like this very theatrical voice talking to me. And I was just like, for whatever, it just took me a while.
He is stage trained, so that fits.
True.
But yeah.
But once I got into it, and then like you start to hear more of the nuances and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting into it, and he's like, this is amazing, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm getting into it and stuff like that. But no, it was really unique, you know what I'm saying? And then the idea of getting a super, like I thought that was just so cool, like because again, as a person who doesn't play, it's just fun. It's like, okay, maybe I'm not having the best KD game, but now my ball is full. Yep. Like you better watch. Somebody gonna get this one. I'm gonna get a kill. Somebody gonna get this. Something. Somebody gonna die with this.
Something.
So yeah. Like you're saying,
Shaxx. Yeah, he's never bugged me. I will tell you the first time when he does the yell, the roar when you take down a super, like, and he goes roar. I was like, that's the first time he kind of got me. I was like, whoa, what was that? Because it's loud in your earphones. It's like, oh, okay. Yes. And then, but it got to a point where in D1, I mean, even in Destiny 2 now, I kind of look forward to it. When you get on those streaks and you get up there, I just want to hear him, like, just talk.
We want to see how ridiculous he gets now. Like, now we look forward to it.
With more Titans like you.
I really, really want to get to the one where the 50 kill one.
Oh God!
And I seen people get to it. The highest I ever got was 42, but 50. When you get to 50, the man just goes into this whole soliloquy about how amazing you are. And for a long time, I just didn't go look at videos to go see it because a couple people like Frostbolt have already got it and they put it up on YouTube. So recently I finally went to go look and see exactly what he says because I'm like, dude, by the time if I ever get this, it will be a Destiny 3 if they ever make it.
Yeah.
No doubt. That's what's up. You got some stuff for? Because I got stuff lined up after you finish.
Oh, we sat there and talked about a whole bunch of stuff so far. Short question for you, and I'll pass it back because friend of the show and ILP, of course. But
no, a friend of you too, man.
Dude, appreciate it. Favorite class, gotta know, because we got a Titan as the cheetah, got a ninja as the warlock, in the robes. What do you?
He went to the
what
bushes.
is your class of choice going for these 42 kills? Making us all look bad.
Okay.
What is it?
Nope, not back yet. Discord. Remember when I said, Discord's been good to us, man? As soon as I said that, all right, now he's back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, there we go.
Gotta love internet freezing, and then hold on, stream should come back here any second. Sorry for the audio, people. I apologize for technical difficulties.
That's Discord.
No, you good.
Oh,
bro.
no, that's like that's the occasional morning like internet hiccup I get every so often.
Oh, yeah.
I'm literally watching like the frames be zero. It's attempting to reconnect.
Trying to reconnect. And I remember I jinxed it. I said, what you call Forte? I was like, yo, we haven't had that many issues. We haven't had that many issues. It's been good. And then we in the bushes.
Did you tap on the table after you said that?
Oh, man. Damn.
See, I have you guys still connected.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, the stream I see. Let's see.
Coming back now.
Okay.
Hello. Test. We should be good.
Okay.
Sorry, you can blame me. Yeah, Texas internet tornado apparently, or there's a gremlin in my... There's a gremlin in there. We
there
back?
You go.
We good?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. There we go. Stream had a little hiccup. Yep.
All right, everything's bigger in Texas, so...
Including the mess ups. Yeah, you're correct.
Even
Yep.
We good. We back.
All right, so I was going to say... We got the Titan, we got the Hunt, we got the Warlock. Forte, what's your class of choice? We got to know how you're getting these 42 kills. We got to see what's up.
Hunter, of course.
Oh, of course. That's the PvP class, so I'm not surprised.
Exactly.
Is it like Worm Husk Crown too?
Nope.
Oh.
I go different now. I do not go meta when it comes to like the exotics for my class. I use I have been maining pretty much this whole season Gemini Jesters. The whole season.
Okay.
The whole season.
Remind the listeners and me, because apparently I'm forgetful. What do those do?
So whenever you're close to somebody in proximity and on your radar, if you dodge, it disrupts and misdirects their radar.
That's right. Yeah, that'll screw with you, especially with dodges.
Yes. Oh yeah, I run a max mobility build, so I get mines back every 9 seconds.
That's stupid, by the way.
And then and then what people don't know is if you put double perpetual mods on, it lowers it even more.
Really?
Yeah, see,
it does lower it more.
That doesn't seem right. That's too much dodging. I'm sorry.
So you can get it. I think theoretically the lowest you can get is like 7.5 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, I might
does
be
hit
able to
diminishing returns.
Yeah, I might be able to give a shoulder charge every like 30 seconds. Cog's over here doing his thing like every so often with like melees and get some builds, and you guys can run Devour. But man, like a 5-second dodge feels a little bit like cheating.
that feels very elusive.
I don't know. That dodge can't kill you though.
That will save your ass though.
That is true. But
remember when they made it when the dodge used to have invincibility frames? Now then you had a problem.
Yes.
Because when we had invincibility frames, I was like, yeah, this is broken. But they took that away from us a long time ago.
So doubling down on E's question with that, like, why Hunter? What was it that drew you in? And it's like, okay, not Titan, not Warlock. This is my class. Like, why?
I mean, I think just because of the whole PvP side of it, it's like I always look at Destiny as the people. You can definitely tell the people that are in it for the story in the single player versus the people that were in it for the multiplayer from day one. Like, my background in Halo, being a person that literally was like the best on his team all the time. It's when you go in solo bike. You go
humble brag.
Yeah, hunters aren't humble. We all know that. Hunters. That's the first thing I'll tell you. Any hunter that tells you they're humble, they're not.
That is true. Hunters be cocky, yo. That's
they cocky true. As heck. So
and they always slanderous towards the other classes.
Don't get that twisted. But I think it's just the fact that playing Halo and stuff, being one of those people that was really good at the game, looking at 3 classes was like, and plus they really promoted the hunter in Destiny 1.
I started
the hunter was literally in the middle of everything, all the way up until I think what was it? Rise of Iron is when they actually put a different character as the focal character on the cover art. That's when they put the Titans at the front. But other than that, every DLC up to that point, hunters were literally the lead, like mostly the lead character that was on the cover. So everybody had this fixation. It's like, does Bungie just love hunters that much?
Yes, they do.
I do believe they do. But so that kind of was the main reason. And then just the lone wolf mentality. At that point, you didn't have a bunch of, like I said, I have friends that played it, but nothing like I have now.
Right.
So I literally ran 3 hunters all the way up into House of Wolves.
3 hunters?
Wow.
3 hunters.
One of those
sir.
triple. I could never do that. I always split 1, 2, 3.
Sir?
Like I was like, was it for the raid loads? Is that that's really all it was? Just the raids. Yeah,
that's all it was for. All for because that whole you gotta think the first time when I finally really got into it, I only had the one character. I was stuck at that Forever 29.
Yeah.
And then when I decided to come back and play, like after Master Chief Collection gloriously burned itself to a crisp, I decided to come back to Destiny, and I was like, you know what? I got the 29. I was stuck there for like 3 weeks. I said, I'm just making another character so I can run this raid again.
Then I did. I feel you. I was definitely stuck there for a while on mine, but I still was never to the point of like making an extra character. I don't know why. Like I know it was the more efficient way. I totally get it, but I was like, I just always had all 3 forever. So.
Well, I was always like, I love Daddle, and I watch his videos all the time, and seeing him run 3 Titans is kind of I think Daddle doesn't realize how influential he was back then when it came to him picking one class and running 3 characters. Because let's be for real, content creators don't think they have that big of influence, but they do. Why do you think the Crucible looks like it looks? When it comes to the weapon balance and stuff that's in there, because people like to use the weapons they like to use, but they also want to use what's optimized, and most of them don't take the time to go in to find that on their own. They go look at outside sources, and if the outside sources are like super popular, they're going to kind of run with that. So that was part of the reason I ended up running 3 characters of the same class, because I saw Daddle doing it and I was like, I think that's super efficient. And I just kept running like that all the way up until House of Wolves and when Prison of Elders came out. And then I made a Titan because I thought Titans would be very valuable with bubbles in there. And I didn't make my Warlock into Rise of Iron.
All right.
Okay. Oh, we got some slander in the chat for you. Also, shout out to Neo Mental.
Lord.
He said, hunters buy squishy mobile weasels, if you ask me.
Oh,
and then we have Slow-Mo, who we know very close to the campfire, says, I have a question for the guest. This Gaming Forte fella.
Wow.
Is he the same Gaming Forte that has a Destiny tramp stamp? Also, which game has better PvP, Destiny or Rogue Company? So he's being very slanderous to you right now, sir.
Oh, Destiny has better PvP.
And confirmation that any Destiny tattoos that we need to know about?
Yeah, is there a Destiny tattoo somewhere?
Is there a Destiny tattoo?
No, there's no Destiny
tattoo. He claimed. Okay, he spread rumors.
I was wondering. I was like, is there an actual?
I didn't know this.
Is there like especially stamp back there for a hunter
especially symbol? Where he said it would be at is definitely not one there.
Tramp stamp, just literally arrows pointing down to the butt crack. That would not go too well. So that would be bad.
Fake news it is. Fake news it is.
That man can't talk, man. Remember we were sitting in the Discord. Remember we were sitting in the Discord, and that man was playing Destiny, hiding from everybody.
Yes, these Division people always seem to be in Destiny. I noticed.
Exactly. So,
but we ain't gonna be petty. We ain't gonna be. I see Neo Mental in there. There's a lot of Division guys. Salute to you guys. As long as you're here. You're here. That's what we accept you.
Yeah, definitely. So hunters, man, all day, every day. But I hear, Ebot, is that you used to not always be a Titan.
No, it was Hunter for the first. Hunter until Rise of Iron came out. No, not Rise of Iron. Hunter until Taken King. And then, am I saying that right? Yeah, Taken King. Yeah. Hunter until Taken King. And then Taken King, it was the fire hammers with the Titan. I switched, and they were broken when you got them when they started.
Oh, remember how
they were.
Oh
they were scary busted. But it was literally those and haven't looked back.
No doubt.
So it was like, I mean, I played all 3. I did stupid stuff like Solo in the Nightfalls, and like Fallen Saber on my Hunter nearly ruined me, and sadly made somebody like delete one of their characters. I still remember that tweet. That was because I made the video on like my Titan. They're like, hey, if you do this on the Hunter, because the modifiers were like terrible that week, and I finally bashed my head against the wall enough. So I still would play some, but no, like my playtime now skews really heavy Titan. Some Warlock. Hunter, I keep like pulling along with like the free armor, the free armor every season. I keep like pulling them out. I'm so out of practice on a Hunter, it's not even funny. But I mean, that's where I started. So
I feel you. I respect that. No, that's tremendous, man. It's funny because you get to see what draws someone to the class. Oh, deep dive with the Hunter. Favorite subclass with the Hunter.
Right now, Void. I am top tree all day.
Top tree Void. Okay.
Top tree all day. Even in PvP, even knowing that super absolutely sucks in PvP, I just like, it's something about dodging, going invisible. People don't know where you are. It throws everything. I literally watch people turn in like 460-degree angles. Like, where did this person just go? It's pretty crazy. Other than that, it's mostly just flawless executioner or middle tree if I'm doing anything. But it used to be different in Destiny 1. I was starch gunslinger.
Gunslinger was beast,
But it's like once they started taking utility, like throwing knives, like didn't work as good as they used to work.
They do
once
now.
They took one shot, they definitely work now. But I was super in love with sticking people with sticky grenades and just watching people literally just get one shot by them.
Yes.
So, but once literally unicorn. I used to unicorn people all the time. So once they stopped us doing that, I was like, this class isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
You have another one of your Brat podcast companions, Basement Radio Arcade. This new guy, he's in our chat. He says,
"Hi, new guy.
Good chat
Hi, new
yesterday.
guy. How are you?"
Hi, new guy. Oh, yes, we had a good chat yesterday. Shout out to Brad. He goes, question for the guest: why have a 2080 Super but play Destiny on console, which is the worst way to play Destiny? So that's his. He's loving this PC Master Race talk right now. So he has a question for the guest. Just for
actually, the easy answer. I'll do it for you right now. And I play on PC. Haven't touched it since. Right now, since this man plays PvP, he doesn't want to deal with all the cheaters. He wants that like clean experience. I'll answer it for him because right now it's like 90%. It's the. I'm trying to think of the right word.
Yes,
it's the integrity of the game on PC. It's like, is it that good? And I hate that I question that. I absolutely hate that I question the integrity. But in turn, I don't want to go play in my molasses mud mode, so I'm still going to deal with that. So I can't console it.
Console slander.
Oh my god!
Fixing that. Then they got the chat's coming for you. But continue. They got another question.
He's right. 80% of that is absolutely that. The other 20% is my fire team that I play with all the time. Is
loyalty.
They're exclusive console and one of them, Luca, shout out to her. She thought about moving over to.
Oh wait, hold on. Exclusive console. Sorry,
exclusive. She's exclusively console. She was thinking about coming to PC, but my friend Taz, he's never coming to PC, so it's like he's like, no, I'll just wait for the new system to come out.
Got you.
So it really meant a lot to me because DMG about I want to say a week ago, 2 weeks ago, put out a tweet saying, you know, who's your fire team? Tell me your story and stuff. And she put out a tweet talking about us, and I already kind of knew all that stuff, but it was like really nice to see it come from a third party perspective. And it lets me know, like, you know, it's hard. It is really hard switching from PC to console. I literally used to play at 105 FOV all the time. But I would go back and I was like, no, it would literally take an hour to get acclimated back to what console was. So now I dumb myself down to 85 FOV just so it's not as crazy to go back to 72.
That just hurts the soul. You're going to make the experience worse. That just hurts my soul a little bit.
Yeah, it's terrible. But guess what? If these people, if my friends decide, you know, it is mostly just those two of all. If they come over to PC, then we're PC all day.
There you go. Right. See what you need to do is convince them.
Dang. One of them is harder than the other.
Ask Cognito how it goes when they get
He going back to console. He just came over here just to appease you for a while.
But he's right though. No. He's right. He's right because once I came over, I brought dudes through. I was like, look, man, this is where I'm gonna be.
Where you gonna be at in 5 months though?
Oh well, the Series X comes out 60 frames.
Exactly.
But I'll still go back and forth. I'll probably be like 75 to 80%.
I'm just mouse and keyboard also. Like for me on shooters, I even went back when I played Last of Us 2 and I had a controller in my hand. If I was ever gonna try that game on a hard difficulty, I would have to like somehow like PS5 mouse and keyboard or something if that was ever an option, because my aim with the controller is crap.
It's crap.
So like that's me. Is like I played mouse and keyboard too much for shooters for too long.
Nah, I feel you, bro.
I'm trash on console. That's the other piece.
Yeah, I mean, look, we all got our clans. We got our you got your family. You got your brother E. You know what I'm saying? Like I got. Like Fozzie's in the chat, I got about like 70% of my clan is still on Xbox, so it's tough for me. But the cool thing is we're gonna have that option to go back. Last chat that last question Slow-Mo have for you. Got to find. He said, second question for Forte. Could he tell us if it's worth buying a Series X for 60 frames in Destiny to play with friends, even though crossplay is coming next year?
Yes, because I'm not waiting. Not waiting. I look at this stuff a whole lot different than other people do. As much as yes, it's $600. I still say $600. Slow-Mo can take that to the bank, but I say $6. But I think the fact that I'm getting rid of one of my Xbox One X's, that's going to help with the price of it. But I just feel like at a certain point, why not enjoy the thing that you play the most? Like I play Destiny every day.
Facts.
And if you're going to play a game every day, no matter where you play it at, you want to have the best experience possible. And right now, the only good thing about console is the fact that the people I'm playing with. Other than that, everything else is horrible.
I feel you.
So
that's respectable. I mean, at the end of the day, listen, loyalty. They call it what was it? Deej one time we got in trouble for saying it, but he said it's the friend game, right? The game that you. At the end of the day, that's what it is. I mean, we all have. We have to admit, if you're a fan of Destiny, we all have those favorite people to play the game with.
Yep.
And that experience, you can't really match that anyway. So you're going to go where your friends are. And I completely understand that. That makes perfect sense in your case.
But I do like the fact that as I've been on PC, like I wouldn't have known Ebonds if I ain't come to PC.
Facts.
I mean, so I do appreciate the people that I have met and played with on PC more than anything, and that kind of is like the great equalizer. The biggest thing for me is PC is more of the system that I like to do a lot of my solo stuff on. So I will literally, people can say that. Well, yeah, because there's definitely a reason for that. But people always say, well, you always say you're about your friends and stuff, but you play predominantly by yourself on PC. I was like, yeah, because it's a lot easier to do things on PC when you're by yourself. You don't realize that until you do it, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a different animal when you're going for that type of control, especially when you want like just harder stuff. As long as like the cheating's not involved, if it's PvE, I mean, ask anybody out there. It's like. Be like, it's like first day raid, stuff like that. Everybody who has an option, they'll be on PC, no question.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I'm going caught up. Oh my God, I'm caught up with the question, but the chat seems to be last question.
We got Brap.
Give Brap.
Question for the guest: haven't played Destiny in 10 months. Would it be difficult to jump back in?
Have you not played it 10 months for real? Where have you been?
Under a rock, apparently.
He definitely has been. We've been playing a lot of Warzone, unfortunately. It's not hard to jump back in right now. Right now it's probably the easiest time to jump back in because it's like a really slow lull in the content loop, just because they extended everything by a month and a half to 2 months already. So you can really get caught up depending on where you were at before. I would say jump in now just because a lot of stuff is about to leave the game. Especially like stuff that you like, exotics and stuff that normally would be there. We don't know how they're going to be attainable in the future. So like E did a really good video. So check out the video he did where he's talking about a lot of the exotics and planets that were going away. So check that out because all that stuff is very, very relevant to knowing what's going to happen in the game. So if you can, jump in now. But other than that, you can just wait till November and pretty much, I think they're probably going to do the same thing they did with the last DLC where everybody gets that boost to whatever the light level normally is. So everybody will start at the same level again. So it's two words of thought. Just wait or jump in now and get as much stuff as you can, because who knows what's going to happen with like certain weapons like Gnawing Hunger when this season is over. Are they going to be still in the game, especially since right now that gun can be used all the way through season 4 of next year?
Right.
So it really just depends on your time commitment.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing is too, right now is before a lot of things get sunset, and while there's many things that get sunset probably need to go. I would say more it's your experience of you've got the full breadth of activities if you want to. And we do have like 100 days, which is stupid because I was like, it's July 31st. I was like, when's this game come out? Not September, not October, not August. That's 3 months. November 10th. I was like, it's literally 100 days away. It was like, God, we have a long time. So like you got plenty of time to come in, jump up, leveling up at this point. If you just play the regular activities, the blues are going to get you up to 1,000 pretty damn fast, at least on one character. Even if you haven't played in about a year, like whatever that level jump is, and maybe it's like 900 to 1050 or whatever you're going for, it's not going to be too bad in the amount of time you've got. And the other reason I would say it is this season is setting up a connection to Beyond Light that is probably like nothing else they've ever done. The way they're setting up the pyramid ships, the way they're setting up potentially the evacuation missions, if there's going to be a live event, things like that, the way it's going to tie into next season to head to Europa to lose planets, this is probably one of the coolest seasons story-wise, narratively, world building, and all of the stuff that they've ever done. But I would say if you just jump into Beyond Light, I think it'll be cool. But I think if you jump in before and build up to it, it's going to be so much better. My 2 cents.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is what you just said is with the planets disappearing. You know, the last time you played this game, you had a crap ton of planets on your director. You gonna log in November and be like, what happened?
Yep.
And you kind of want to be a part of that. You know, people already missed the Almighty, depending on how you feel about how that event went. I thought it was great. Yeah. I saw so many people just sitting in the tower waiting for something to happen. Now we can definitely get on Bungie about the execution of letting people know how long it was going to take to do it. But I had fun because my daughter jumped in Destiny literally the week before that, got her leveled up the character. She was in the tower standing next to me.
That's fantastic.
She's 9. So it felt amazing to have somebody in that world to experience an event like that. Even how minuscule it is, but that's what Destiny is. Destiny is about the minuscule things that become bigger over time.
Yep. No, true, brother. True, man. That's what I got. We got anything else going on in this world?
Oh, I was going to say, Destiny? I think we got the full man's gaming history, life history, social security number, credit report.
He got his own question section. I've never seen a guest they have their own
questionnaire. Yeah, I mean, we are totally set.
When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is a requirement. Cool.
Bro, you're breaking all type of records now.
Oh, no, the questionnaire I sent you is, but the ones coming through chat, those are not common. Yeah, you got haters in chat mostly, so they're just trying to burn you. That's really what's happening. But overall,
they hate not love.
We having a good time.
Those are good people. Shout out to Neo Man too, Brad and Slow Mo being silly. Huge fans. They part of the Basement Radio Arcade podcast and the Scubcast. So these guys definitely are friends with Forte. It's complete sarcasm, y'all. These guys are really friends with Forte. They just give him a hard time because he's here. Everybody loves Forte.
Yeah, why won't y'all drop this man a sub while y'all in here too? Since
oh man, what is this?
Since you guys are up in here, you know, remember how we work on the Iron Lords? We only read in color.
Yeah, so I should be requiring like sub only. I would never do that.
Oh, we can't do it. We can't pull that over here.
We need some sub love up in here. So hit this man up.
But I was gonna say so where we're at in Destiny 2 right now. As I said, we have 100 days till the end of the season. Potentially, what was gonna happen is September 22nd comes around, which would be about 6 weeks away. We'd have Solstice of Heroes, which starts a week and a half from now, and then we'd be rolling into the end of the season. Everything just got pushed way, way far out, which does mean for a lot of people, I've seen some people knocking out seals. Those of you who are doing like Reckoner in 1 week, y'all are crazy. I've seen that on Twitter. They are losing their mind. Saw a couple shadows pop up. So, I mean, seals are a decent thing to go for. I do want to work on Conqueror this season just because it does seem painful, but you have your arsenal of everything. So if something like Mountaintop or anything specifically helpful for one, I'm going to have all the picks. And then when it comes to like next season, when everything goes away, at least I'll have that box checked. But I guess what I wanted to catch from you guys is, what are you doing in Destiny right now? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, what you doing currently, Forte?
So remember last season I was working towards my Reckoner title.
Yes.
I started that back up again because of I don't know what's going to happen with Reckoning, and I don't know what's going to happen with the when they're going to add these two modes together, or however they're going to do it. And I think there's a good chance that the title may go away. And as of right now, every title in this game has some value, but the Reckoner title, to me, even knowing it's not the hardest to get, it's the most insane one to get. It's like when you see somebody with that title, you know they've seen things that they shouldn't have seen things. And they have done things that they should not have done. The fact as of right now that I don't have this title yet, and I have close to 700 primeval kills, lets me know how much I played this game. So I have one more character. I need to finish out my Sentry class, and I'll be done with it. So I've been working on that. And then I'm working. Last season, I got my flawless tag, so that was interesting because I ended up doing that on console because of PC. Like, not doing
we have to
that.
stay away from them cheaters.
Totally get that.
Stay away from them cheaters, bro.
Get that clean experience out there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Wholesome.
Worked on that, and then now I started working earlier this week on my flawless run for Prophecy, and I want to be like Ibanez. I want to have all 3 of them done.
Woo!
So. You know, I've been looking at his videos, seeing how he did his other ones and stuff. So that's what I've been doing over the course of like the last 3-4 weeks.
No doubt.
What about you, Cog? What have you been playing? Have you been playing this, or are there cherry blossoms flirting with your time?
Cherry blossoms all day right now, man. It's like Forte said. It's like since this season was just on fire from the beginning, but again, once we got the delay. And then we knew things were going to get extended. And I was so like every day, every week in pocket with what's going on. Okay, boom. Right around Effigy, then I'm like, okay, I got everything. Yeah, like, I was in pocket. I was doing my thing, And it's just like, once that happened and I'm like, all right, because I kind of slowed down. I was like, all I got to do left is the Effigy, the Savathun Eyes with that. Shout out to your video.
Still not, or did you do it?
I'm like halfway through. I just it's just busy. It's
just do it in one night. It's not that long to knock out. I recorded that thing faster than it's probably taken you to do it.
That video long. It's not like a 5-minute video.
I did it real time almost, and it'll take you like an hour. 1 hour.
Yeah, that's a commitment. It's a commitment for busy work. It's busy work. Go here. Look at the ceiling. Look at the corner. Look behind the cupboard.
Have you got your Trinity Gold Catalyst either?
Like, bro, I don't want to really do this. It's just like, I'm just doing it for the sake of completionist and the fact that I am that close to, what is it, Forerunner? So I'm like, all right, if I don't do it, it's stupid because I'm literally that close to getting the title. So I'm like, all right. So I was just like, all right, I'll put it off. I'll do it when I got to do it. And another reason why I stopped, to be honest, is that once it got extended, and I'm like, well, why am I rushing for?
That's another
I got the
thing
time
too.
in the world to do all this stuff. So that was the first thing. But for me, it's more been loadouts, prepping myself for the whole sunsetting bit, getting myself out of I do not use Recluse anymore. I do not use Mountaintop anymore, just because I want to mentally get myself out of those crutches, because I know they're not going to be there, for Beyond Light. And the last thing, like I said, just messing with loadout. I actually got a fun little loadout now. Obviously, Knowing Hunger, we all agree. We all loving Knowing Hunger right now. I got my Subsistence and Rampage roll. I'm rocking. But I went back to, shout out to Tram, because he mentioned it in chat. I went back to Izanagi. Now, I know the DPS is slow ever since the thing, but the way I look at it now, my ultimate loadout right now is Knowing Hunger, Izanagi in the Connect, and then the sword, the guillotine. So it's like, I feel I can handle any situation. You
got ranges, close, medium, and far.
I got the range. And Izanagi still hit like a truck. It's just the reload animation is slow because they want to, slow down on the DPS. But I'm having I was doing I do the contact missions when the interference when it comes up on the reset. I have a ball shooting them eyes with Izanagi. I was just blasting that thing out the sky. Like, it's just fun, man. So I really love that build. I've been messing with that. And Slow-Mo said Cog use Mountaintop. Listen, I had to use it. It was God tier. I mean, if you weren't using Mountaintop in PvE, it was kind of you would kind of handicapping yourself. It's just that for me right now, I know it's going away because of the sun setting. But that's been pretty much it. I've just been really prepping for that. Just light jump in, do my little reset, do my little pinnacles, get up out of there. And then it's all about ghosts and cherry blossoms and all that good stuff from Ghost of Tsushima. That's what I've been doing, to be honest, until the stuff. But we'll talk about the raid away. But what you said, Forte?
No, I was saying I can't lie, man. Like for me, when it comes to, like, you just named some weapons that I just haven't been able to pull myself away from yet. Like I love my mountaintop.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get my mountaintop to 10,000 kills before the season's out. It's close. It's like at 873. 8,732. That's what it's at.
Well, but let me get Hampton real quick. Not Hampton. Setfree. He said it's a crutch. He said Mountaintop's a crutch. Mountaintop kills more players than enemy. It's straight skill. No, I'm not saying it's not a skill weapon. I'm just saying.
Oh no, he's literally saying he watched me while I did my solo flawless runs die to that own weapon. It is the
you kill yourself
I think
with
it's GMD Geek. I don't think he's in here right now, but he's like, the ultimate raid boss is mountaintop to kill yourself.
Yes.
I cannot tell you how many times I've died to my own weapon. It's special.
You can kill yourself with it. Oh, for sure. I'm just talking about from pure optimal loadout standpoint.
Yeah. So I haven't used Recluse in a while. I will say, I haven't used that in a while. Well, I got my Gnawing Hunger. I made my video about that. I can't put that thing down. Gnawing Hunger with Subsistence right now.
I like your build on that one too.
Like Subsistence Rampage.
Rampage, that's the one I got.
Now, granted, you can get the Overflow Rampage from the curated role, which is from Reckoning Tier 3. You can do that.
Subsistence.
Now, the difference is somebody's got to remind me and somebody clarify the way Overflow works. I know somebody said, like, even a comment on the video was like, hey, I can get 96 bullets in it. And that's if you pick up like a green brick or something like that, you'll get 96 bullets, but you have to reload to get the 96 every time. And for example, in that video, I went through 400 bullets without reloading, maybe once,
bro,
just by firing at ads. So it's like both are going to have benefits. I could see either being good, but I'll say the farmability of the Subsistence Rampage, or Swashbuckler, either one's going to be pretty viable.
The trash mob. Think about when you did the contact mission this week. And you go over the bridge, and those thralls come to you. If you got Subsistence Rampage, you just sit on the trigger, and you just see the bullets just keep coming back to you. It almost is like Subsistence is almost like a mini No Time to Explain perk, where the bullets just keep coming back into your mag all the time. So and then you got the triple Rampage kicking in. Oh, you can have tremendous fun. Like it's the ultimate trash mob. I love that role. But continue. I had to give it a shout out to that role.
No, like I used that pretty much the whole way through the dungeon, except for the boss tube. I used a bow in there for the hobgoblins, but outside of that, like Gnawing Hunger's been good. Yeah, I have been using a lot of Mountaintop and PvE mostly because I have also been working on Solo Prophecy. I finished that, so I've been enjoying that one. Yeah. I want to go back through and flip and try to like say Forward Path because I got a Feeding Frenzy multi-kill clip.
It's a good gun.
I got like the roll.
What you gonna use the
energy?
And
the energy, I would go Truth Teller, so to flip it. So Truth Teller with like, because I have a Feeding Frenzy multi-kill clip. Truth Teller. Unfortunately, that one only has blinding and concussion, so the blast radius is like that big. It's like tiny.
No spike.
I don't think I've got one with spike.
Yeah, you gotta get that.
So that's
spike,
the one I'm looking for is with spike to see if I can get that one. And then I'm trying to figure out because then I want to go back through because I could do a Solo Prophecy guide right now with like my Xenophage, Mountaintop, and I'm like, not everybody has all that crap, and that's always what I try and do if I make a guide. I'm gonna be like, all right, let me go completely just like this season, Truth Teller. Forward Path maybe for an auto rifle or even that other one, whatever the newest slower one is. And then like I'm trying to figure out heavy without sword, of course, in the first part, but then like interference maybe for a grenade launcher. There's not a machine gun this season, which is like kind of a bummer. So I've been trying to figure out what to go in the heavy slot.
God bless you, sir. God bless you. Trying to do all that for these people. I'm sitting there as I'm listening to you say it, I'm like, no.
Well, so the funny thing, I've said it before, like when the first boss where normally I'd use the sword, I was messing around switching and I was trying Truth Teller, and the blinding grenade actually works surprisingly well. You shut like a knight down and they're just like moseying around for a little bit. They're pretty easy to hit with the second one. The blinding is stupidly helpful, but I had that and I switched. I had that and Mountaintop and a sword. And I still managed to finish the first encounter with 2 grenade launchers. So it's like, I know Truth Teller is beneficial, and that if I can pair that with an auto rifle, it's doable. My worry is actually the cube room without xenophage because I crutch it so hard. That's where I got to figure out because it's 3 shots on, and it's exotic. Technically, you should be able to go get xenophage, but it's 3 shots on the knights, and I'm like, I don't know how I can match that now with just like this season's weapon or something.
Yeah,
but I'd have to see.
That's going to be tough. Yeah, I agree. That's going to be very tough to do without that. Xeno really helps with a lot of those
I mean, I'm the dumb guy who used that on the boss damage as opposed to anarchy like everybody else. Everybody loves anarchy. Yeah,
but no one actually had anarchy.
On my solo run right now, I am running Mountaintop, of course, running Anarchy, and I'm running Gnawing Hunger. But I love my Gnawing Hunger because it has it does dual things. So I have subsistence as everybody else has on it. I have kill clip on mine, but I also have demolition.
And I get your grenade.
So I use kill clip all the way up into the final room. Then I use demolition in the final room because I keep feeding my anarchy back.
Yep,
it's for the boss phase.
Yeah, taking armaments is key.
Oh yeah, nice. I have taking armaments, taking barrier.
Yep. Speaking of which, that's what I've been doing.
People don't realize that if you have fallen armaments, you get double drops because they're fallen enemies in there. Because technically they're fallen taken, so they count as double drops for your armaments.
I gotta get in Scourge, man. I gotta get that popping. It's funny you said that's what I was doing. I've been farming the shout out to your video which you have up too, and Jarv who we had on the last word. I've been farming the raid chest. Shout out to Forte for teaching a warlock how to jump correctly to get his chest. He was so helpful to me. He yelled at me at first. He yelled at me, man. But he was so helpful the second time. He got me to relax. He said, "This is how you floof cog." He's like, "You got to jump up here." And this was, see, he's a hunter. He's so used to that agility. So he forgets that my clunky warlock self can't make these jumps that he does with such precision.
I've done Whisper solo on all 3 characters. If I can do that on a warlock, you don't get to tell me a warlock can't jump. That's not an option.
This is a hunter to warlock. This is a warlock to hunter appreciation thread right now. Okay, you stay out of it, Titan. Here's the deal. That's my man. Shout out to E. But he really, really showed me. Like I had to learn how to do it, man. He showed me the correct branch to get my chest, man. So I've been farming my little taking mobs.
He was getting mad too, bro. Every time he died, he's like, "Why this freaking branch won't clamber?"
Oh. It's something about the floof, right? This is what I hate when you're going up. When you go down as a warlock, it's great. Glide, you kind of cruise in the way you want to go. Love it.
Tap, tap.
Yeah. And then you hear the sound. But when you go up, the thing I hate is the hunter will make the landing and then slip. And I'm like, why did you even make the landing to begin with and not just stay there? Like it's like he has slippery feet. I'm like, what is going on?
Now that's called depth perception.
It's called dumb. And it's called, why isn't the clamber working? It's a glitch. Warlock fans, talk to me. Am I bugging?
Yes.
Warlocks, do y'all know what I'm talking about? When you make the jump as a warlock, you're not pressing the directional pad, and then he's in control with the mouse and keyboard. Salute the head. Yes, maybe it's a controller thing. And he slips off. And I'm like, why? So that was my frustration that one day. But Forte showed me.
Yeah, he yelled at me too. He's like, I said, "Dude, you got to do is this." And he said, "You and Ebontis and you guys always, y'all think it comes easy for y'all. You got to.
Let me go take a warlock in the same place you're jumping.
Oh, stop.
I'll jump right with you.
Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to literally do what he said. I said, after he got on me, because I'm very, very influential to what Cognito says to me. He starts yelling at me. I'm like, oh, I must have did something wrong. So I said, okay, Cod, look, you go this way.
He's telling me very
jump
smooth.
On this rock.
Yes.
And, once you jump on this rock, don't jump again. Wait. Yes. Take your time.
Yes. He gave me good instruction, y'all. It was very, very, very informative.
We literally had to take it down to like 0.5 speed.
Yeah, YouTube playback speed.
And then I got it. Shout out to Spotty Central. I'm flu for life, but I don't know, man. Landing isn't that bad at the 6 years. I'm pleased, man.
That's the thing, dude. You can land better than the rest of us. So if you're talking about an issue with landing, I can't empathize, man. You're like, hold on. It's like a slow parachute landing.
The parachute landing, yeah.
No, that's easy. we're talking about going up. You keep talking about going down. That's easy. Up is the foolishness. But anyway, shout out to back. Warlocks don't have a jump. It's a drift to their death. Even the person who designed the jump said it was a mistake. Facts. Factual. Factual.
Look, man,
That's
I think
right.
Titans have it the hardest when they come down, because every time I come down with my Titan, I feel like I hit that jump button
You
too
guys
late.
have air brakes. Hunters get another jump in the bottom. I have to stop my, like in Pit of Heresy when I'm falling, I have to start my slow fall halfway down the thing so I don't smash my legs into my head.
Smash your leg, break your legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give them that. Every time I do that, I'm like, what is, I say, you always miss time to fall. It's like you'll still die. Like when you're doing pit and you're jumping off the cliff for the first time to find the different where all the different enemies are.
The necropolis, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, why did I just die? I was like, because literally the brakes on this thing doesn't work.
Yeah, there's no brakes. It's like, so you guys have like you guys have like sports car brakes on the Warlock. You get like air brakes. I'm driving like an 18-wheeler. I got to hit the brakes way before the stoplight to ease that slowdown in. Otherwise, I'm plowing straight through that intersection and I'm going to die.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
So funny, the different experiences for each of our classes. It's so funny, man. But that's Destiny, man. That's Destiny. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm trying to get those Taken mods. Doing that. I got to get the Fallen mods. And then I think Addict's up this week. So Sunday, and from Sunday on, we'll probably get back into our full-time rating. So Forte E, you are all more than welcome if you guys didn't get
I got
your
checkpoints
raids.
For Scourge if you need them.
Nice. I needed
Scourge checkpoints?
for what, the Sparrow run for the chests?
Yeah.
You got the Sparrow?
Well,
you got the
Scourge-
Sparrow run?
Yeah, I have that too. I had that on another character. Well, the thing about people don't realize the thing about Scourge is the fact once you get a checkpoint, you keep it forever until you either complete it, until you complete it. You basically keep
So
it.
just keep
It never
switching the
goes
characters
away.
through?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, well, it never leaves, even during reset. It's the one raid that does not leave. The checkpoint doesn't leave.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
They know,
Don't tell
Bungie knows this at this point.
Wow, we're going to get into that. So, because isn't there for Blacksmith, right? Don't you have to have a perfect run with the Sparrow?
Well, it's a perfect raid. Yeah.
It's a perfect raid. It's part of the
Because that's the hardest part, right? Ain't that the hardest?
Six people doing a
6
perfect
people,
Sparrow run.
Perfect Sparrow run. That's good.
No.
That's why I ain't got it.
Yep.
That's why I ain't got it.
There you go.
The thing that I think the thing that kind of makes people not really want to do it is because it's not like you could just go into the raid and do it. You have to activate it.
Yes.
You have to literally go around, and that when you got to go to all the different pillars inside the city, and you have to forcibly activate it instead of just saying, "Hey, if we make it through this without dying, we get the flawless."
We get it. Yeah,
So you got to do the wish for Last Wish, don't you? You have to do the flawless wish.
You got to do
Petra's
the
run
flawless
or something.
wish. Petra's run, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine, but that goes with the aesthetic of that raid. You know, I could, I kind of understand it, but it was like, wow, we got to turn on all these beacons just to
initiate this mode.
Just to initiate this mode. They kind of got rid of that with the newer ones, which I'm happy.
Yeah.
Along with dumbing down Garden of Salvation, so you don't have to have the flawless for it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's going on in the world of Destiny?
Well, this week we had the Prophecy Dungeon Deep Dive. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch that one from Bungie, it is fantastic. Shout out to Brendan Thorne and Andrew Hops, especially Nicole. She was the running the show. Went nice and smooth.
John, my man John told he was killing it too.
Yeah.
So with
there were so many people, people in there, but it was one of the things that I think made my mind explode.
Which part?
Is you start with the circles, then you got the half circle, then you got the desert, then you're up to the cube, and then you're to the triangle. And it's literally shifting from the traveler and the light as you go through to the darkness and the pyramid and the triangle. And I was like, oh, dude, I lost my mind when I put all that together. That was so cool to see how they build the transition in that. And we know it's a space of the 9 and then the light versus the dark. And it's that whole theme right now where we're thinking about the darkness and the light and the traveler and the pyramids and the witch queen and lightfall. This is why I said, getting into Destiny 2 right now to at least keep up with the story. I think this time is going to be special to see what comes in the fall. So that was that one little part was just that's the one I can't forget. It's just seeing how they have that little whiteboard moment from circle, fading in, flat for the desert, come back out, cube, and then triangle is Oh, that's too perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did you guys take out of that one? Any big moments, any cool things that you guys got out of it?
Forte, did you get a chance to watch it? You watched it, right?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah,
no,
what
I
you got-
mean,
anything
that
out
was
of it?
pretty much because the one thing I always appreciate the most about those ride-alongs is just the scope and where the conception of where they started is where they finished at. Like,
Mhm.
I'm with you. When I saw the whole everything put together and them say it how it was done, I was like, that's interesting. You would never thought about it that way by a person that just plays the game in the normal way. It's like you're getting that bird's eye view of the overview of it. I was really looking forward to seeing if there was a way that you can see the where you were going, because that was like kind of the trend they had for every dungeon. Like, you know, when you're in Shattered Throne, you look up, you can see the top where you're actually going to be at. You go to a Pit of Sorrow, a Pit of Heresy, you can see the pit from where you start at. So I'm like, this one is kind of a little bit harder, like you said, because of the way they designed it and how you're transmitting through dimensions and stuff.
Yeah.
But seeing that, it was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And it's starting to seem like Bungie is really catching their stride in how we want them to be able to tell stories that matter to what we're doing now.
Yes.
Instead of trying to just finish up a storyline so they can get to the next one. It's like we're finally transitioning where everything's starting to make sense all together. And that was very apparent in what they were talking about in this dungeon ride along. So I really appreciated that. I just like overall the aesthetic of this raid. It's like, it's like one of the, it's probably not the most beautiful thing they did, but technically the way the environments are very vast, you can straight up get lost in the desert. It's like, and I like how they just implement little set pieces inside of the dungeon to make you feel claustrophobic, especially like in a cube room. I like the mechanic of I remember the first time I beat it, I was like stuck. I was like, where's Talon? I don't know where he is, and I didn't realize that he was on top, and you got to go to the had to go to the blank side of the wall where that's the side you had to drop at. So just being able to see implementations of stuff like that is the things that I like seeing, because it's one thing playing it, but it's a whole nother thing to see that a developer had something in mind for you to accomplish, but then you found a different way of doing it, because they always get surprised when people find out like, oh, we didn't expect people to be able to do it that way. But guess what? That's why we build them the way they have. They're pretty open in the way that you can attack them from different ways.
Yeah, it was good. It was one of the ones I was very glad that I watched. I like they had the whole Zoom setup, so many members of the team. You know, they really got a chance to break down a lot of stuff. Like I said, shout out to John Toe. I love the narrative aspect. You know, just talking about the Nine, how they conceptually thought about the world, what they were trying to say. And he did mention, you know, about each in the desert, each planet, you know, that is going to go was represented. I like the last boss fight. They were talking about that tunnel. They were talking about how they were constructing that fight, and as far as the whole the teleport thing and sending you back. I also like how they said two things that were very interesting to me. One thing they said is like how sometimes when they make it in their internal testing, they're like, no, this is too ridiculous.
Yeah, we got to take the number of nights.
Yeah, the number of nights. He said we got to take this night out because this was just really. And I was thinking about that room, and I'm like, yo, that room is crazy because you got, you know, the guy on, you know, on each side.
So there were 3 nights instead of 2 in the final one. There were 4 nights in the first section. They said they had to back 1 out of each.
Now, the thing that really blew my mind is that they said dungeons are constructed with the solo player in mind first. That blew my mind. I thought it would be the opposite, that you design with the full fire team, because she asked them, you know, do you guys intend for your, you know, these dungeons to be solo? And they were like, well, that's how they were designed by one person, and they kind of ramp up. So I thought that was very interesting to see that. Like, that, it was just dope. Like, they are so talented, man. And again, you know, just when this is, again, we gotta talk our Destiny talk. Like, this is why Destiny is that game. It's like when it comes to in-game content, the things that they come up with, like, it's mind-blowing. The talent on this team is really impressive. even like I said, the room when that room you're talking about, Forte, with Toland and everything like that. The design from the ribbon down to initially they had. Did you see the slides?
The slides.
Yo, that would have been dope too.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
So crazy.
Yeah.
The initial concept of the Sparrow run was initially like a slip and slide down the joint. I was like, yo, that would have been fire too. Like I couldn't even get mad. Like then they showed like a concept of the my only beef though. I would have asked them this is my you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I don't know if I do actually.
When you go dunk either the black moat or the white one, right? The dark or the light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would have been like, why didn't you put a normal indicator over it to dunk? Remember, like the game really doesn't tell you how to dunk the thing correctly.
Right.
So they talked about, I don't know if you saw this, they showed the initial design of where you dunk at, how it was initially gonna look. And it was one was gonna have like a dome, but then they said that looked too much like a Titan bubble. Then they had one that almost looked like a splotch on the floor. Like they had these different conceptual things. It's just really interesting. Like I love stuff like that. I love deep dives. I personally think Prophecy is the best dungeon they've done. I'm gonna be honest. Like I just think from start to finish,
it's the hardest. I'll tell you that.
It's definitely the hardest.
I love that boss fight. That just going down that long tunnel.
The chase.
You gotta chase him. He's throwing the thing at you. You could get set back. Like it's just so much to it, man. I really enjoy it. Shout out to them, man. They are so talented, man. That's just one small team that has done something, and every time they knock it out the park. So yeah, I was glad I watched it late, but I was glad I did watch it. I was like, yo, that was super informative.
Yeah. The thing I like you said, the thing I really like, and it really does speak to how they build it. It's like how they did King's Fall, where they built hard. And they just scaled it back for normal, which I wish they get back to how raids were done in D1. Mm-hmm. But that when he said that, I was like, you know what, that makes sense because you build it around the ability to do it by yourself, which is the hardest way to do it. But we scale it back for you can do it with 3 people, whereas we don't change anything. The only difference is you're just it's more manageable to do when you're with 3 people versus how harder it is when you're by yourself. So it's like they took that same philosophy from Ray's and brung it over, which I like the most. But the one thing I'll fight you against is the whole dunking mechanic. I think they hold your hand way too much in this game as it is, and literally the first time I did, I was like, how do you dunk this thing? And then I was like, I just went over and just pushed buttons on it. I was like, oh, okay, you just hold the right trigger or you hit the button.
I hate that.
I just think they hold your hand too much in this game as it is for certain things you do. And I get it. I understand like the first time, but think about it. The first time you do it and you figure it out, it's like, oh, okay. Then it's over. You only had to learn it one time.
I get it. It just felt like a weird extra step that I just thought was interesting.
It's not an extra sub, sir.
It's an extra step. No, it's just an extra step. It's an extra step. But we ain't gonna.
It's literally a quick time event. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, like I was saying, the whole thing is this though. What's dope about that mechanic, real talk though, is how they talked about from a design standpoint, how they could even do light and dark and in your relationship to where you stand, and how they initially had it was they had enemies stood.
Oh,
and
that was crazy. That would have been a mess.
That would have been crazy if they'd have left it like that. So shout out to Cat Daddy, the chat salute, part of the clan and everything. But like that again. Who thinks of these things, Forte? Like who thinks of these things? Like they are just amazing when it comes to end game content. And then and it's dungeons, man. They just every time they knock it out the park.
Man, much smarter people than we are come up with this stuff, and I think we come up. That's the thing I always get on people about armchair developing. It's like you don't realize how much work goes into the stuff that these people make. We critique this. We critique these raids and these dungeons and the activities we do in this game. Because to us, it seems like, oh, this was simple. Why didn't they think of this? But ultimately, you got to think how many people are working on these things, how much certification they got to go through to get. When you go from conception to a complete thing, it's probably hundreds, if thousands of hours have been consumed to do that. So whenever I see these developer diaries and stuff on things like this, it's like, truly amazing just to see a small group of people, especially in the dungeons, really come together and put something together like they did with this one, because no one thought they were going to get a dungeon with this.
Yeah, this was a complete surprise to me. And again, another reason why I got to shout out my boy, biggest fan, John told I'm the biggest fan. He wrote like 300 lines of dialogue in this raid. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, again, just the conversation between the Drifter and Morla with Eris, and you're getting those little lore pieces. We know about the infamous Shaxx is kind of possessed kind of thing. Like, we learned that you don't get that stuff from a lot of, like they really knocked this one out the park, man. Again, no disrespect to Shattered Throne, love it. No disrespect to Pit of Heresy, both fantastic. It's just something about, I think for me, it's the aesthetic. It's the aesthetic combined with the mechanics. I really like this joint.
Well, shout out to Arius, because last night we ran all three.
Nice.
We did back to back. So we did Shattered Throne, cleared that. Did
2-man?
Pit of Heresy. Yep, 2-man them all. Pit of Heresy.
Nice.
And then Prophecy, which I ended up doing flawless.
By accident?
Basically.
He slipped into it by accident.
No, there was one we were running through. I think it might have been Shattered Throne. We were just going along, and it was just like, hey, we're going to do it flawless. And we're like, walking up the first bridge, and we both just die like a glitch. And I was like, I can throw that out the window. But we knocked all three out in about an hour and 45 minutes. So we burned through them pretty quick. Yeah, it was, but I was like, after playing them back to back to back and kind of refreshing the mind of like what each one has in it.
What was the vibe?
Yeah, which was your favorite?
I mean, like Prophecy, hardest for sure, no question. And still just like the unique nature, the light and dark. And then now that we got the deep dive as well, it's like just getting more of an understanding of like the lore pieces and the transition from the circle to the triangle. It's like, it almost makes me appreciate it more. It's like Shattered Throne, as you said, I love looking up and then looking down, but it's like, I know they can't keep repeating that, because you don't want to just keep going up and down and like traversing forever. So like this one, like going through dimensions and everything. But I mean, I would say like they've learned stuff from each one. So I mean, they're going to have like some crazy encounter in there, like the Cube Room or Chamber of Suffering or the Ogre. They're going to have the boss fight, which has some slow. Queen, what's up?
Red
hey,
Queen.
What's going on?
Red
Queen. Hey, how you doing?
You knocked my boy out, Queen. I'm supposed to like you, but I'm not supposed to like you, but I still like you.
We got Jixer.
Shout out to Battle Royale.
Go enjoy your tasty food. We'll see you later.
Shout out. Tell Jixer he got to come on to make. He got to come on the last word to make up for that transgression.
That was bold.
Salute to your food choice, Red Queen. Salute. She's good.
She was about to have Reese's cereal. I was like, hey, that sounds pretty good. If you're gonna have cereal, like having Reese's in it, like in a bowl. But yeah,
Jixer Cloud, we're looking for you, sir. You flipped up the answer on us. Evil. That was such a fun thing. What was homeboy's name? The host. He was really cool.
James Work. Yeah, absolutely.
James Work. Yeah,
fantastic guy.
Fantastic. Yeah. If you guys haven't watched it, the Red Queen was on. E was on. A lot of very good Destiny content creators for a good cause, for veterans, I believe. And they knocked it out the park. It was a podcast battle royal, and it's down to the last couple of questions. That was
unique, man.
Unique. I love the concept. Really fun. Shout out to even the cops here like it. See?
Yeah, fire is like, woo! It's hot in here.
They coming for you, man.
But yeah, I was like playing them back to back to back. Prophecy is something special because I would say it had them like just the right amount of mechanics, but it had more mechanics than the rest to make it just a step above, I think. Right. The light versus the dark, the moats, and like those pieces, all of that just kind of takes it just a tier above. And I think they just keep learning from each dungeon. Like Shattered Throne, they went through, they had the encounters, and you had like a traversal section when you have like kind of like the desert. You have your like, they said like, it doesn't always need to be like crazy encounters everywhere. It's like sometimes you just need to shoot some Taken.
Yes, I like that part when he said that.
And I was like, that's kind of perfect, because there are some where it's like the Descent and Shattered Throne, or like the wizard section when you're going through all the different platforms and pit. There's certain sections where it's just like go around and shoot the enemies. Like whether it's like trying to figure out which direction to go, maybe a thing, but not everything has to be like, all right, you got to dunk this here. You got to manage these mechanics 3 different, like not everything has to be that way. Otherwise you might go insane. Like there has to be some in between, like the Rainbow Road was cool. So playing them back to back to back, I mean, I think it does go. Shattered Throne is special because it's first, but then Pit of Heresy learned, and Zulmak is just like a it's not just like, I mean, Dolan Karu looks pretty cool with the Knights, but Zulmak is just monstrous. And you got now the sword mechanics that you've learned, and then Pit of Heresy takes it to the next level. So the dungeons, I think, have continued to get better. If I'm going to rank them, it's like, 1, 2, 3. Like newest to oldest. So it's like Prophecy, Pit, Shattered Throne. I would put them in that order.
It's so good, man. Yeah, shout out to. I love that they exist. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, not everyone has a full raid team. You know, raids do take a lot to get organized, and this dungeon really is that happy medium. And again, a mechanic, a thing that we didn't think we would ever get for this expansion, and then in general, you know, the fact that they just continue to produce good content when they do it. So salute to the team. Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think about the dungeon disappearing? How do y'all feel?
You go first. I'm gonna probably say a little too much, so you go.
He about to go in. I'm
almost
almost want to give up my
mine's
turn.
Not in a bad way. Mine's actually more in lore questions, so you go first.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's I mean, the thing is, they did say it's coming back, right? They did say it's temporarily gonna go. My guess could be it's either a logistic thing, you know, where it be I don't know whether it be with the content vault or something like that, or the fact that it's in the tower technically where you started off. So maybe it's a logistic thing or a technical thing. It is weird. I was surprised when they said it was going to go and they try to bring it back as quickly as possible. It's got to be. It's either one of things. Either a logistic thing from a technical standpoint or from a lore standpoint. Something is going to happen that it just doesn't make sense to be there right now. And that's the only thing I can think of. But
go ahead.
Jump in.
I was like, you're heading in the direction I was thinking too, and it's because Drifter's sitting in the tower right now. Is he going to be out in Europa? Is Gambit Prime? Is that going to be a thing? Where is his ship going to be? So all that stuff is a piece. And then you picture the desert area. You have the 4 planets that are going away.
Right.
If it comes back, how is that going to be a reference? Are they going to have different little kind of things in the desert area, and they could keep most of it look the same,
right?
But keep the little pieces of kind of the little remnants of the areas. Do that as maybe you got a Europa piece, maybe you got a Nessus piece, maybe you got a couple of the planets that remain, and they switch it up that way lore wise. And then it's also, this is the prophecy of these are all the locations going away, the light and the dark coming in. It makes sense lore wise, and it was when Beyond Light gets here, maybe the actual story within prophecy almost has to change a little bit.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm wondering too. And as you said, he's sitting in the tower. It's what if he's not sitting in the tower in the fall?
Yeah, technically he should, right? And
I mean, he's at least flying out there for a little while to meet him. I don't know if he comes back, but
it's a good question. What you thinking? What you thinking, Forte?
No, I mean, I always thought it had something to do with the lore and how they were going to implement that going forward, because it's at this point they're pulling in many different directions with all these characters. We don't know where they're going to be situated at when the new DLC comes out.
Right.
The fact that you launch it from the tower, but you end up on Drifter's ship is I always thought it was funny. I was like, okay, well, whatever. But I think they just want to centralize everything a little more, you know, but my hope is always the fact that they're secretly putting this into a new engine, and that's what I hope was the thing.
Shout out to the Tiger.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that we get a modification of this engine, and that's what they're doing. But especially now, since it's the fact that a lot of the stuff is being put into the vault, so it'll be a little, I mean, I don't know development on it, but you would seem like it's a little bit easier to do that since we're removing so much stuff.
Right.
And they're not trying to port the whole entire game over to something different. But I do think it's just lore implications and stuff. But secretly, I'm like, can this be a little bit better? And I've been looking at the trailer and stuff. It seems like a lot of stuff is moving a lot more fluid. I mean, we're looking at a trailer versus playing it, so you'll never know until you actually get a chance to play the content to see how it feels and interacts with you. But it seems like they're doing a little bit of stuff different from what we usually see when it comes to the trailer that they put out for Beyond Light.
Yeah. They got a lot of promo to do too. You know what I'm saying? We still got a lot of promo run as we get closer. It's probably some type of lore reason as to why this thing is going to do what it's going to do. But, you know, the fact that it is coming back, because it would be very sad if this thing was going away and we don't get it back no more. This is literally one of the best pieces of content they've done in some time. So, you know, I got confidence in them. I'm very curious to see how the content vault gets implemented, how that whole thing works. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Obviously, we're getting the Cosmodrome back. That's a huge deal. That's got to be, I don't think it's going to be just a 1-to-1. I think we're going to get a lot of filler in that play space.
It's like we're not getting the. Just remember, everybody, we're not getting the full thing in season 12.
Right.
They're going to build
coming
it out
in pieces. Just to set expectations. Like Cosmodrome when it starts is mostly for the new light experience, and then they say 13, they're going to fill it out. Hopefully for story reasons is the goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So no dungeon.
That's my worry, is that we got the dungeon now, and I don't get a dungeon in year 4, and then when it comes back, I've already kind of done it.
But in fairness, like I feel like
it's nice to see
dungeon and raid is kind of greedy together. I've always felt that. Like I'm not gonna say no when they offer it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I always felt like they always should have done. I always felt the dungeon should have probably been during the season when stuff is light. Like, because the raid is its own thing. Like, the raid is a big thing. You start off the season world first. I always felt it's a lot to throw both at once. When Shadowkeep did it, I was like, yo, that's okay. That's a lot.
And this was like 7 hours after the season. I was like, all right, that's a little quick.
Yeah, so like for me, I'm like, yeah, that was quick too. You know what I'm saying? But it's like for me, I like that the dungeon get thrown into that, seasonal model so that has a little bit more beef to it, because now it made Arrivals feel beefy, like we had something really to do, you know what I'm saying, like end game wise that we didn't expect. So that's just me.
Yeah, the only thing I think when it comes to that is the fact that for Last Wish, for Forsaken, the only reason we didn't get the dungeon day one is because of the recycle of the 3 weeks of the curse. So we got it on the 3rd week. But it was always there. It just wasn't.
That's dope how they did that. Yeah. I like how they did that.
I like how they did it. So it was basically time gated, but it was there day one, and we just had to wait for the curse to play itself out.
Yep.
For Shadowkeep, it was there, literally there in the first week. And the thing that worries about me with the next DLC when it comes to a dungeon and stuff is the fact that, we just got one. The chance we're not going to get one when the DLC drops.
Right.
It's going to be a raid, but then they're bringing Vote of Glass back. Yeah, and with them bringing Vote of Glass back, and if they're not bringing it back, they're probably not going to bring it back that same season or later in that season. They're going to bring it back in season 13. And if they bring it in season 13 or 14, how much further does that push out a new dungeon?
It's a good question. I mean, for me, I think it's a good problem to have, because
it is a great question. Yeah.
The way I like it is because, let's be real, each, I don't want to have them Season of the Drifter moments.
Oh, Lord.
You know what I'm saying? Where
I like Season of the Drifter.
I bet you did.
I do. I played a lot of Gambit. A lot.
I get it. I mean, I didn't mind Prime, but I just felt when the season is forced between this back and forth to activity, depending on the other activity, it was just.
I mean, that wasn't the best cycle of things. Those could have been a bit more independent, for sure.
And then outside of it, all right, put it this way: if that would have been that, and then they would have had a dungeon on top of that, you can sell me on that. You know what I'm saying? I think for me, it was just like, I like that we got this problem, right? Because now, when are we going to throw in Vault of Glass? Vault of Glass could go in any
season
one of
14. I'm betting my money on season 14.
Oh, you got your money for 14?
So 14?
Summer. Well, spring season. Whatever that is.
Break it down.
Spring season would be main reason. So season 15 will lead into Witch Queen. Same way Rivals is leading into Beyond Light, which is crazy that we're getting closer towards Savathûn. Right. We've got season 13, which is after Beyond Light. We know is the Cosmodrome getting fleshed out more, and potentially some story there with like Cosmodrome, something on Earth, and EDZ and stuff of that nature. The weakest season always is the spring. Drifter, whether you like it or not, it's still like not everybody's favorite. Unworthy, and then usually that lull in the spring. So what is the one thing that will appease all the hardcore people? Go give them Vault of Glass in the spring. And they can have a light season, but Vault of Glass is there.
And if it's old content, they just bring the assets up or whatever. Yeah. Polish them off, dust off the assets.
I'm still curious how they do that, though. Is it going to be like just a piece? How are we getting to the Vault of Glass? Because the opening is the patrol space of Venus.
That's a good point.
Theoretically, you'd still have the skybox of Venus. How do we get to Venus if it's not on the map? Are we teleported there? How much can you see? Is it like walled off invisibly? Because you could literally just like, here's the opening, you can go drive either direction from it. Like, I want to know how they limit that thing too.
I want to know how they integrate it, like Forte, because my thing is it like a moment of triumph moment? Well, remember what we did? Or is it a moment like, how is it
the
integrated?
Vex are doing crazy stuff and they're
crazy
like,
things
now
with time. We got to go back in time and relive something. Like, how are they going to implement it into the narrative of the game? Or is it just like a remember the time moment of try? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you think?
I think it depends on how this whole 9 situation plays out. I think the 9 is going to have a lot to do with a lot of the things that's going to happen in the future with Destiny. The fact that they took a whole DLC and literally or a whole dungeon and based it around that, and then the build up with the story between the Drifter and the 9, all that stuff's going to come to a head at a certain point. And I think you're going to become an ambassador for the 9, and there's going to be things that you're going to be doing. I think the 9 is basically taking the place of Callus at this point. And you're going to be using the 9 is going to be using you to go back and doing things, and that's how I think you're going to be able to access the Voto Glass.
Some more almost like time or dimensional travel to get back to a point when that was a thing.
How you going to get there? I mean, because I was thinking the same thing, but the fact that they're putting these threads with the 9 in there, the 9 can pretty much do, from what we see, they could pretty much put you wherever they want to put you, any type of dimension. So even knowing the Voto Glass may not be on the plane that we are on now, we can end up there in some alternate reality where we actually have to maybe bring something back from the Voto Glass or something like that. For me, it always comes back to not really how they're going to implement how we're going to get there, how are we going to interact with it, and what are we going to get from it?
That's the thing. You know,
because rewards are going to be key too.
The rewards going to be huge. Yeah,
because there's a lot of as much as I give that raid crap, as much as I give that raid crap,
say it louder.
The weapons in that raid are undeniable.
My man,
they're undeniable. They are the cream of the crop when it came to D1.
I was like, unfortunately, Vision of Confluence wouldn't be sitting too pretty in this current meta.
No, it wouldn't be.
Yeah,
they have to fix.
They would have to fix that.
Scout
Fatebringer would feel pretty good, I'm sure, for everybody. They'd love that. There's some that would be good.
But it would just be a regular. But see, there's the thing about vault weapons, and they would have to do something really drastic to change it up, because we have weapons now that are just as good as the weapons that were in there.
Yeah.
So how do they change it up? And then on top of that, they don't really have the elemental capacity like they had before, and that was one of the biggest things that those weapons had
right
allure to. What do they do to change that?
I don't think they're doing that. I think they are anti-elemental primary.
They are.
Yeah.
And are they gonna and are they going to bring Vex back? Because I can't have Voto Glass without a Vex.
Vex Mythoclast? Oh.
Yes, Vex got to come back.
That's going to come back like instant nerfed. They're not going to let that break the game. But I was like, but it is. Those are some iconic pieces. And that's one thing I forget. They were talking about Hawkmoon. I don't know if it was Guardian Royale or here or where I talked about it. Somebody's like, Hawkmoon's going to come back. And they mentioned that. And I was like, but it's not going to have Luck in the Chamber. So I'm like, why is it even called that? Because that was the whole point. Like, I know like PlayStation got to enjoy it. Xbox never had the true like Luck in the Chamber. So it has a different feel. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying when it was what it's memorable for. When I played it, even Dado's had the question more than I ever will. Hawkmoon is one of those things. Like, so you take the way Hawkmoon felt good was that moment. Like, it was a good feeling hand cannon, but it was that moment you get the like special button. You're like, holy, and you hear the ting, and like if you get it all to stack, you get those rare like
bullet, baby.
Holy crap, single shot kills. Like, that's what made it unique. Otherwise, it was just a good feeling hand cannon. It didn't have any major stellar moments. So how are you going to make that thing different? But again, how are you going to take the Fate Bringers? I can't even remember the auto rifle from in there. It was like a 900 RPM that you'd use to burn down like
Atheon's Epilogue.
Atheon's Epilogue, yep. So, I mean, there were certain ones in there. Like now you just take, it's like a gnawing hunger, but just turn it into a 900 RPM. That's all that's going to be.
Right.
So it's like, as you said, how are you going to take, and this is a bigger question again, I think when hopefully we'll see more when they get into it in the fall, what are they going to do for end-game rewards to make them special? Because we're talking about like, we were talking about Pit of Heresy. Somebody in the chat is like, I'd love Zolmak armor. We've said that here before. Like,
of course.
Zolmak armor or raids that have, or raid weapons that have either another perk or, something to set these apart. And actual raid perks would be a thing too.
Yeah.
All of these things, if you bring it back, I think Trials has issues. That's why it came back and didn't do so hot. If the rewards would have been right, cheaters wouldn't have been there. It could have done well. But if you bring back the rose-colored glasses on Vault of Glass, Vault can be good. And it's still like one of the raids. Everybody ranks it pretty high generally. Not always, but it's still one of those that like has a good experience. They've done so much since then.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they don't like evolve both the rewards and a little bit, they'll still have champions in there. But the rewards,
you think they're gonna bring it plain Jane the way it was? Come on now,
I know. I know they're gonna say like champions, but like I want them to take like the motivation of, hey, we need to evolve Vault of Glass to bring it into Destiny 2. I'm hoping that takes all the other in-game stuff too.
Absolutely gonna happen. Absolutely. I mean, they've already shown that they can do that. I have no worry in that regard. Those weapons will not only get updated or some type of perk added to it to influence basically where D2 is now, but more important, I want to get back to your other question, which was Hawkmoon. I feel y'all. See, for me, my perspective is different. I never had it in its original form. I know nothing of that life. The magic bullet life. But I will give them credit. Let's be honest, and I'm the first to be guilty of this, y'all. Remember when they said they was bringing Thorn back, and I was like, I don't know, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, Thorn was scary. And I was just like, I don't know. And let's be real, like, they brought it back decent. They added that different mechanic with the orb and the thing and the pickup and stuff like that. Is it the original Thorn in its original form? No. But
it still has the damage over time to it.
Yeah, it still has damage over time to it. So their words, where they're going to rework it, there's going to be a different mechanic. What I'm basically saying is there's going to be a different mechanic that we just got to see what it's going to be. But I do feel for guys like Dado who love that gun in the essence of what the gun was. I get that.
Just call it something else.
What?
Yeah, well, the fact that they said that it's not going to be a damage thing that they actually that affects the gun is where I'm like, why are we bringing back Hawkmoon?
Yeah, I was like, the art's pretty, but make a new gun.
Y'all funny.
No, but like that Hawkmoon is Hawkmoon for a reason. If you brought back No Land Beyond and it wasn't what it was,
gun, that's not happening. One bullet killing gun ain't happening. I'm sorry.
It doesn't happen. Well, they stopped that a while ago.
I was like, and that's fine, but I was like, then leave it in the past. Don't bring it back. If you're gonna make it a different gun, make a different gun. Don't make a different gun, but slap an old name on it. That's kind of where it falls apart for me is. If it's like, oh, it gets like, get this thing to proc where reload speed's almost instant or fire rate goes up or so. I don't know what it's going to do or you get luck in the chamber, but No Land Beyond on PC would be broken. Oh, God, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be ridiculous. That'd be ridiculous.
But there's certain guns that, like, it is what it is for a specific reason. And if you take that intrinsic piece of it away, why are you calling it that weapon in the first place?
To me,
it would be like Thunderlord coming back into Destiny 3, if that ever exists, and not having like the lightning rounds that come with it, because then it's just an arc machine gun. It's something that's as deep into it that you can't do it.
They've done this already where they brought guns back and they don't operate exactly in the way that they operated in D1. We have some examples. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's like, look,
what's one that's that far off?
Yeah,
Thorn ain't Thorn.
Thorn still has damage over time. The orb is different, but the way it shoots, it's still a projectile thing. You've still got the damage over time. It's not like you got rid of the dot. You didn't get rid of the damage tag. That is still there. That's an intrinsic piece of it. The damaging effect is still there.
Picked up and do this whole synergistic thing that didn't even exist.
The orb the orb improves it, like it's an evolution on it, but it doesn't change the intrinsic nature of how it works.
So why can't they just make an evolution of this thing?
Because they flat said they're not doing the damage thing, and that's what makes that weapon.
What else they're going to do before we complain? Let's see what it is first before we say. Well, let's just see. Like, y'all going in, I don't even want it to come into
what makes Hawkmoon Hawkmoon?
I get it.
Okay,
we know
they
that.
said it's literally not going to be the one thing that it's not like it does.
They said it's going to do something else. Can we see what something else is? Can we just see what it is before we say?
Listen, I'm gonna need you to get off your horse for a second, sir.
Oh my God!
I need you to get off your horse. Listen,
complaining before we even see it. Can we see it?
Listen, I'm with you, man. I'm also one of those people that didn't get a chance to experience Hawkmoon at its greatest being on Xbox. But they are literally taking the thing that made that weapon. And they're saying we're not improving it in that way.
We never got that weapon either.
But guess what? But listen. They're taking luck in the chamber away altogether. You're not getting luck in the chamber. You're not getting holding aces. So you're getting both those perks. Are the two main perks on that weapon don't even exist in Destiny 2.
Right.
So the fact that they said we're not improving the gun in that matter, and it's not going to be a damage type. What is the weapon going to be?
So there's nothing else the weapon could do to be exciting. So just because it don't do this now,
just be something else.
It can be any other hand cannon that does any other thing, but it shouldn't be Hawkmoon at that point.
Let me be clear. So basically what y'all saying, unless the gun comes back in its original form, any old exotic should not come back unless it's exactly the way it was made.
No, literally not what I'm saying.
That's what y'all saying.
That is not what I'm saying.
I just want to be clear.
That is not what I'm saying.
So you want the change? You want a change? You can't have a change. Which one is it?
No,
does it have to come back in its original form or not? That's what it is.
No, this is not. No, you're like drawing a line in the sand that's not there. We're saying like things can change. All of that. If they were like, hey, luck in the chamber, maybe luck in the chamber was like 1 in every 3 bullets, or you only have 1 bullet per clip, or there's less of a damage buff, or any of those changes can all be a variation on what makes Hawkmoon Hawkmoon. Those are all changes that would still keep Hawkmoon having luck in the chamber, having holding aces, still being a possibility of keeping what makes Hawkmoon Hawkmoon. Right? So changes are fine. The evolution, we're literally saying Thorn is fine. Thorn has changed. It got an evolution, so now you got to be a little more active to pick it up to get the boost, but it's still got a damage over time.
Not this particular, not the luck in the chamber change.
That is what makes that is the only thing that makes that weapon different. Otherwise, it is a hand cannon.
So
it is a legendary hand cannon. It is a legendary hand cannon without luck in the chamber and holding aces. That is what makes that weapon exotic. And they're literally said there will be no damage changes. That's all that weapon did. If those are gone, it's a legendary. And that is specifically what made. There's no.
Do you know what Hawkmoon is going to do when it drops?
Of course,
I know what it's not going to do.
You don't know what it's going to do. None of y'all know what it's going to do. So let's just see.
Going to do.
We know what it's not going to do. Y'all so crying and complaining about that. All I'm saying is let's just see what the change is before you complain. That's all I'm saying. You're bitching about something you don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't even know what the new thing is going to do. But I don't want it because it ain't doing what it did in 85. Let's just see.
There's already a weapon in Destiny 2 that's basically what a Hawkmoon looks like.
It's called Ostringer. What the new intrinsic
so basically,
perk
you want to
is.
give us an exotic
do we
version
know
of
what the new?
Ostringer.
Can you tell me? Can any of y'all tell me what the new intrinsic perk for Hawkmoon is?
Let me.
So until we do that, then let's not talk about it.
Cog, you're on your high horse. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
But y'all not being fair to
ask you a question.
Hold on. Y'all not being fair to the developer.
I'm about to cuss on you, man. I'm about to cuss on you.
Who we gonna cuss then? I'm just saying, let's just be fair. Y'all so emotional about what it was. Let's just see what it could be. Then we can talk about it. Let me ask you something.
Cog, okay, look. You tell me. What was the allure of Hawkmoon? What was it?
We've already discussed this.
Just answer the question. What was the allure?
We've already discussed
what
this.
What is Hawkmoon?
Luck in the chamber, the magic bullet, the combination that one particular bullet could have both of these perks to do an instant kill. We get that. We've described that.
It's not even about just the instant kill. It's the fact that weapon literally could 2-tap.
Yes.
Consistently, at least once every magazine. At least actually twice magazine.
We know this. Yes.
But listen, without that bonus, that weapon is basically an off-stringer.
Okay. What if they add... Okay, finish.
So the fact that... Okay, so you're basically saying you're okay with Hawkmoon at the base level being an off-stringer. A weapon we already have.
So wait, now let me stop you. This is where you're wrong. So you're acting like just because... that perk is not there. There are no other perks or new perks that they can add to the gun to make the gun interesting. That's what you said. You know for a fact that the gun can't be interesting.
To the gun, but it's not that gun anymore.
We know that.
Then call it something else. Is all we're saying.
Why does it have to be called something else?
Because it's not Hawkmoon.
Yeah, then it's not Hawkmoon.
But it's so many other guns that have changed intrinsically. What is the biggest?
You tell me has changed that much.
Let's just see.
Kai, tell me a weapon that you keep saying, let's see. Please tell me a weapon that's changed that much.
I already gave you one.
No, it still
Thorn
literally
is
has
not that way.
It's not that
way.
way.
The DOT does not work the same.
It does
never
work
had
the same.
It still works as a damage over time. Still hits with damage on screen.
To increase damage.
The orb is an evolution, but the damage over time is still the same. The projectile looks the same.
Work. It's not as effective as it was. When you had Thorn,
yeah, you can nerf a weapon. You could bring back. Okay, no. Okay,
so
hold on. You could do Hawkmoon, and maybe Luck in the Chamber only adds 50% damage, and you can't 2-tap, but it gives you. That would be an evolution or a change in the weapon. If you gave me Thorn and the dot was gone, damage over time was gone, that wouldn't be Thorn anymore is what we're saying, because that is the idea. It's that type of bullet for its functionality. If you brought back a hand cannon that did other things, call it a different weapon. That's what we're saying about Hawkmoon. Is the idea with Hawkmoon is you bring back a weapon that does.
I understand that. This is not what I don't understand.
How do you not get that if you bring us a hand?
Because I just don't understand that we are not even willing to see what the new perk is.
Just call it. We don't know. We don't know what it is. I just don't think it should be Hawkmoon.
Call it another weapon. Call it something else.
You can't even. Don't look the same. Call it something else. Get your hand off this gun. That's what y'all say. It's just the most wildest thing I've heard. Like, we're not even willing to see. It's just interesting to me. It's very interesting to me that Hawkmoon fans are like. And what's so funny? Why y'all hypocritical? Because they literally did that to the Xbox guys. The Xbox guys never had Hawkmoon in its purest form, and nobody had a problem.
Yeah, but they literally didn't take away.
You could never get the combination. You can never get the combination on Xbox.
One will still hit. You can still 2-tap with it. That's all that gun had. You could either 1-tap if you got the perfect roll of everything stacking together, or you could 2-tap if you had the bullet in the second. And that's literally the whole gun. That's all the gun did.
And the funny thing is, if you go and Datto, the biggest proponent of that gun, he even said in this video, he only got that to proc once or twice. And all the kills he had on Hawkmoon to get it to kill one time in one shot, twice in that one.
Can I ask you a question?
So the gun was never about just the one bullet kill. It was just the fact that you had the opportunity to 2-tap somebody every magazine.
Let me ask you a question.
At a 150.
So with this logic, and I'll leave this alone because clearly it's going on too long. With this logic, I just want to make sure if they decided to bring back Icebreaker, with your guys' logic, they cannot bring it back unless regeneration bullets happen for this sniper, correct?
Don't bring back Icebreaker.
Don't bring back Icebreaker.
So if they make now here's my counter. We do understand that having a gun that does systematically break the sandbox by regenerating bullets is not
so make
balanced.
A new weapon.
Okay, so hold on. Let me finish now. I'll let you get your balls off. Now, we do understand that having a 2-tap or 1-tap hand cannon is not balanced. We do know this, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
But why bring the gun back?
Don't bring the gun back. Then make me a different hand cannon that does something else. It's not going to have the same perks. It's not going to be the same weapon.
Of selfishness. This is the epitome of selfishness.
Oh my God.
I am done.
I'm glad I got somebody else in this podcast because I would be literally throwing my desk in the air.
Bring back the sandbox breaking gun.
No, that's not what we're saying. Give us a new hand cannon. Don't call it Hawkmoon. That's all we're saying. If it's not going to function like the old, and that's
bring back the sandbox.
We're never going to get Icebreaker. We're never going to get Icebreaker as we did. Correct? We all agree that should never come back. It breaks the game.
Come back.
So then we should never get Icebreaker ever again because it stays in the past. So it is. If they bring back an Icebreaker that's like, hey, you get 3-tap on Icebreaker. That's what we're saying. If they brought back Icebreaker and it was like, maybe it was like 4 times the charm was the perk on it, would you like that?
I want to see what the new gun.
If they bring. Well, that's like if they bring back Gjallarhorn without Wolfpack rounds. Would you really want a Gjallarhorn without Wolfpack rounds?
What else could it do though? What if they add a cool other little perk to it?
Then that means you just don't bring back Galahorn.
You make
something else.
I just don't subscribe to this. Don't bring it back because
because you're taking the essence of what that weapon is and making it something else.
You're making a different weapon. Don't reskin something else.
It's not fair to the sandbox that is currently in the game. Thus, it will be broken. That's the thing.
Then just call whatever Hawkmoon's, whatever the new perks on Hawkmoon are going to be.
Love the allure of the look
so you're
of the
basically
gun.
saying that Bungie's just bringing back Hawkmoon to get people excited for
of
just
course.
a gun. Okay,
this is marketing.
I understand that, but
then
the simple fact
that
make a new exotic.
They've done that. We've got Effigy, we've got Witherhoard.
Right, keep going. That's all. We just want a new, then make a new exotic as opposed to an old one.
It's just selfishly, you guys wanted to operate exactly the way it did when it
I just wanted to have. Look, that weapon was. Look, the first thing people thought when that weapon was announced, said, "Oh my God, Luck in the Chamber is going to suck." And the fact that they said, "Oh, it's not going to have a damage boost," that's not how we're going to operate the weapon when it comes back. Then what is Hawkmoon?
Listen. We going in circles. We're never going to get a medium here. So I'm going to call
Apparently not. I'm glad Forte is here today, so I don't feel crazy.
That's fine. No, it's just like I said. Your heart is just bent to it. I get it. You want it in its the most purest form of sandbox. I get it. I side with the developer when it comes to stuff that breaks the game, and I get it. You guys are siding. You guys are siding with purity of the weapon. We're just gonna have to disagree. That's all.
I can't wait till this weapon comes out and we on ILP.
And you know what's funny? Don't let this weapon be hot.
Please let me.
Y'all gonna get work. And don't let this weapon be fire. And everybody's having fun with it. And don't let me catch one of you two in your videos having fun with this new weapon because y'all gonna get it. I'm gonna be like, IOP, last word, 114. These dudes are like, don't bring it back. And these are the same dudes having fun. Don't let it be fun.
It should have a different name.
Hold that sheep to the fire. Hold the cheetah and hold the hunter to the fire. If this weapon is hot and fun and everybody's loving it, because I'm coming for them. Trust me, I'm coming for them.
It doesn't matter if it's fun. If it's not.
No. It has to be the magic, the intensity of the weapon, the integrity of the weapon. Don't let it be fun. I want to have no fun from y'all two with this weapon if it's good.
No, I'm going to have the weapon day one. I'm just going to say in a video that I don't know why they called it Hawkmoon.
Yeah, that's all. No fun. You want the essence of the weapon. You want the magic bullets. You want 2 taps, all that. So I don't want no other love for this gun if it come back and it's fire. Y'all going to get this work. I told you, I'm not forgetting this day. Episode 114. Last word 114.
I don't know how to. I don't know what to do now, Forte.
I don't even know where to go from this.
I don't know what.
You have some very interesting opinions, Cognito, about Destiny and the weapon sandbox.
I do. Yeah, very much so.
Now I see what Ibantis deals with.
Yes, welcome to the campfire.
Yeah, like there's no getting through. Sometimes it's just like if he's stuck, I can't get.
Don't have no fun. Don't let me catch you. I have fun. That's all I want.
That's literally not the point. It
is the point. You said don't bring it back. Why bring it back? Why? Because you had fun with it in its original state. Don't
bring it back if it's not what it was. If it's not,
and it's not going to be what it was. It's not.
Then call it something else. Is all we're saying.
But that's not happening. That's not happening. They're calling it Hawkmoon.
I get that.
We know where we are.
We just think it's in bad form.
Disagree.
To call it that. That's all we're. Right. The gun can be.
We got that.
If the gun shoots fire,
Bungie's not listening to y'all. Bungie's listening to me. That's the funny part. Bungie's not listening to y'all. Bungie's listening to me on this. So I want to see. Let's just see how it. Let's see how it operates, and let's see how I have fun or not.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least Forte and I can empathize on this one. So, anyways, we do have Iron Banner coming back next week.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we can't even finish this damn podcast now.
Because my mind is like blown of how starts you're defending this, man.
I'm not defending. I'm just telling y'all what it is. Y'all just
his shirt's even like turned over here, all bunched up on one shoulder.
Do you see those guns come out, man? The muscles in the neck started popping out of his face.
Y'all gotta accept change, brother. Y'all gotta accept change, man. Y'all fighting it. It's happening. That's all I'm saying. It's happening, bro.
Oh my God.
Y'all can sit there on the soapbox all y'all like, but they doing this.
Short little wrap. Iron Banner's next week. The Forward Path and the Fool's Remedy come back. We got a hot fix coming with a couple fixes. Basically fixing a couple of the Nightfalls. Raids are going to be like Leviathan's going to be working properly for awards. Couple other fixes as well. Other than that, we just know the season is long, and that's kind of where we're at. Solstice of Heroes starts on the 11th. Not the coming week. We got one more week. I don't know why I even thought that was coming this week. Because even when I logged in, somebody on Twitter was like, anything this week? And I was like, nope.
Yeah, kind of slow.
Not much this week.
Nothing of note, at least. I saw that TWAB and I was like, man, this is... Well, at least
light.
they gave us some bug fixes.
Really light.
It's light. They're filling those times with those Bungie deep dives.
Yeah, I like the fact that they finally opened it up to be able to just farm these raids. Like, I need to go get Taraba. I need to get it before it disappears.
I actually need to do that. It's not what I'm looking forward to, but I do need to farm that one.
You know, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I think Last Wish is probably the best raid that they did in D2, Crown of Sorrow is... It's something about the fanatic pace because of the hive being involved. Yeah. And I always like, and that's one thing I liked about Dark Below, Crota's End. Yep. It was just how fast it, there's
hello, guest appearance.
Guest appearance by Young Forte.
That's the Destiny fan right there.
There we go.
But the fact that it's just super fast paced is what I like about it the most. And I just like the encounter with the boss. It's just so many moving parts. And shout out, I forget who y'all had on 2 weeks ago that does raid carries.
Zoe.
Zoe.
Yeah, Zoe. And how she was talking about like how that raid everybody has something to do.
Yeah.
I love that aspect of that raid. So I normally when I'm doing LFG, I just look for boss checkpoints, but in that raid, I'll literally just start from the beginning and do the whole raid on all 3 characters.
I've still never done that joint. I got to do that raid.
Never?
Never
we
done
got to change that, bro.
Yeah, I never did Crown.
That's funny. Oh, man. Well, talk about getting all hyped, hot and bothered and stuff, and then coming down off of that.
It's not a show. Well, it's not a show unless Forte here triggering Cognito every once in a while.
It's not wrong. So
I finally get a chance to bring it to the show instead of in the comment section.
Well, I'm just glad you were here when it was on my side, because man, I would have been like pulling my hair out during this discussion if it was just me versus him back and forth. We've been there. We've been there on the raid.
I seen it.
He's seen it.
How many weeks until we find out? We have like 100 days, so do the math. Like
basically
lots
a
of
new
weeks.
season pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was like it's July 31st, and I was thinking, you got August, September, October. I was like, we have 3 months and 10 days before we get. I was like, that's a lot of time to.
It's a lot of time. That is a lot of time.
I mean, and we get Festival of Lost expectations are about this much. We got Solstice of Heroes, which will be cool. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the armor design for Solstice.
Yeah,
because that's usually one of the coolest things for armor sets that we've had in D2. Because D1 armor still kills it all, but D2 like the Solstice armor last season, especially if they take it to the next level, has potential to be cool. Potentially more European aerial zone, hopefully with an evolution.
Yeah, EAZ got to come back.
EAZ was fun. I will say, when you had to do it on all 3 characters to get like the ship, dude.
Yeah,
that was I hope they ease the grind a little bit. Don't make it just because we have 100 days. That event's still only like 3 weeks or something.
Right. Yeah. What do you guys think about because we got Braytech, the Winter Wolf, the last 2 seasons for rewards. I'm hoping they give us something different this time.
Festival?
For Festival. Because we got the Winter Wolf the last 2 times.
We need something else.
Yeah, they gotta add like some type of different reward. They had what was one they had? The Avalanche machine gun.
Avalanche was for cooking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got the Vow for Crimson Days, the Vow bow.
Probably the best weapon they've given in an event is the one that Forte did get, which is the machine gun. Yeah, that was probably the only.
I absolutely refused to do that. I wasn't.
Which one?
The I don't even have it. What weapon?
The
is
chain
that?
gun, the Cabal chain gun that rubs up.
I refuse
and gives you the shield.
Yeah, for Guardian games.
No, I refuse to do that.
That exotic? Yeah, no, that was. I haven't used it since I got it, but it is a pretty cool weapon. That's like, it is one of those that like I've thought about. I was like, would I use it? And I'm like, in theory, maybe, but also it's just the spinning up piece. Like, because if I think about it, I can go 21% delirium and just pull it. It's like fire. And it's like, you got to be spinning up. So if it was like sustained for a while, like I'm going to be here, I'm going to be mowing guys while you guys are working. It has a purpose, but we haven't had like an encounter specifically that's like, I need to mow guys, like 500 guys down. I need to mow down in this corner while some other people do some other stuff. But I can do this all day long. Like it has a purpose, but it's like, I haven't seen a good fit for it yet.
Yeah, it's like, for me, I love it. The problem is with Xeno, because the DPS is a little faster, it can't really be. To me, it's good for people if you don't have Xeno, if you just don't have other weapons, then this is a good fallback weapon because it does hit hard. And I love the shield. You know what I'm saying? PvP is very underrated. It's just, like I said, again, if you have the top tier stuff, then I couldn't find a place for it. Thus, it went in the vault. You know what I'm saying?
I just refused to do it because of that event.
Yeah, that event was grindy.
I was like, nope. Yeah. And then we just came flush off the event that they had us throwing balls at the tower. Nope, nope, good.
Yeah,
I was like, that was a little too much.
Not the best on that one.
Because that killed me. I was telling Cog and thing. I was like, he was like, you get it yet? I was like, no. I'm not throwing a ball at another tower. And then I was like, look, and I was looking at Ibanez. I was shout out to you, man, because you was in the stream. You was part of the culture of trying to get that weapon for everybody. And I was like, oh, shout out to Ibanez getting that weapon for me because I'm not doing it. I'm not throwing no more balls at no towers. I said the fact that none of this stuff counted when we were doing this for hundreds and hundreds of times.
Winter's Lie? Oh,
yeah. I was like, I'm not doing it. I said, I'll enjoy the weapon. Thank you for it. And guess what? I haven't even used it.
Don't feel bad for it because I did the same. You know when I did the same thing? Whatever that event that Arbalest was in, I was like, I ain't doing that. And then with literally the next season, I went to, as soon as the next season started, I went to Zer, used the Faded, and it got Arbalest.
And you got Arbalest. Like, I'm like, no. And that's the same thing I'm thinking about about that, whatever that machine gun is that I ain't got. Because I don't care.
Apparent, if I remember that name.
They're apparent. That's the name.
I don't even want to talk about it because I'm like, I look at people. Now, I won't lie. I see somebody kill me with it. I was like, oh, man, that's cool. But then I was like, no, it's not.
It's not. Don't lie to yourself to think it's cool.
Nope, I'm good.
It's not cool.
You're good, dude. Just as soon as the new season starts, go right over to Zer. Use that Faded. You're good to go.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing for me is trying to find a way to replace my beloved. I still haven't replaced it yet. I have to find a weapon to replace that sniper.
What is that? What sniper? Is it kinetic or energy?
From sniper rifle from Menagerie.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's energy, right?
Yeah, it's energy.
Okay.
I mean, there's a bunch of energy weapons, but it's like that weapon is like the perfect balance of a sniper. It's like
what's the
highest aim assist you can get on one, perfect scope. Handling is like beyond perfect, and once you get the right rolls on, like I got quick snapshot quick draw on mine.
Is it aggressive frame or
adaptive?
Oh, it's adaptive. All right, so it's right in the middle. Okay, I get it. That joint is loved. Like it's.
Oh, dude,
I get killed by that all the time.
I don't know what I'm gonna do because I haven't even tried to replace it yet. So, but I got 3. I guess I got 3 months to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like right now you don't have to rush anything. You got plenty of time to grind for god rolls like Gnawing Hungers or anything else. You got time. And hopefully just like take the time to try and balance out the rest of the season so you don't burn out on something so much. Like there's a lot of good stuff to play between now and then, hopefully. So if you need a little break, take it because you do actually have a lot of time, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a ton of time.
Shout out to Microsoft for giving us
getting the Game Pass
expansion.
Yeah,
that's gonna be big.
Yeah,
huge.
Console base. Yeah, that Microsoft number is about to go up because you just Game Pass be like, oh, just go ahead and log in.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, they'll definitely be higher than Stadia.
I might have to cancel that subscription, yo. Aries in the chat.
Yeah,
bro, I might have to cancel that, man. I can't see a way to justify keeping it. That was the only thing holding me was that whole environment being non-cheating. but trials gonna have to go down on Xbox.
Well, the fact that it's gonna be 60 frames per second, because that's the 60. One thing that we remember, Kyle, when we were doing it. It was like, yeah, this looks horrible. The field of view is terrible, but it's 60 frames per second on Stadia.
On Stadia, 60 frames, and now we ain't got to deal with input lag.
Yeah, so now you got to deal with the input lag. So it's like, so shout out to them for that, man. I think there's a little bit more to that story too when it comes to Xbox. I think this is just the beginning, honestly.
I think so too. I think literally for them to do a deal like that in this initial stage, they took a bag up front already. And for them to put to me, what made the deal over the top is putting the Beyond Light in there. Because if you put Beyond Light in there, that's a next level. Most would have just made it free to play, and that would have been fine. This is not your typical marketing kind of a deal. So yeah, I've heard rumblings. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I definitely think there may be something more. We'll see. But for those who are worried, Destiny would, if anything did happen, Destiny wouldn't be affected. Destiny would still continue to operate in the manner it would operate. So as far as different platforms, stuff like that.
I think we're gonna get cross-play with Taken Queen.
Yeah,
that's what they said. That's what they're shooting for. Is like they're gonna have in Beyond Light's gonna be within console family crossplay.
Yes,
and then they're shooting for 2021 or whenever it launches now, due to delays. They're shooting for full crossplay everywhere, which will be, we talked about, maybe opt in for mouse and keyboard versus controller, stuff like that. But honestly, for even PvE activities and stuff like that, matchmaking, all that type of stuff should be nice.
I think that should be day one. I don't even understand why they don't do that earlier. It's like I can understand the PvP side of it, but for PvE, that should just be open.
Yep. Oh yeah, straight up. There's no reason you would like, oh no, somebody on mouse and keyboard's helping me with a strike. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see the problem. Yeah, like that should be fine. But yeah, PvP opt-in, like some type of choice, I guess, to see how it goes.
I think the issue. Okay, no, say you're gonna say Forte.
No, I said it's not. It's actually not as bad as people think, because I do play keyboard and mouse on PC, but I play more controller just so I can stay in practice and going back and forth between the two. But you can dominate, because people keep forgetting that Destiny is inherently a console game. And you can dominate on PC with a controller.
Yeah, you can, absolutely.
It's not hard. So I'm really not worried about even the PvP. I mean, as much as for basically for everybody else, I just say just kind of make it opt in for PvP for console. But if I was at a mixed lobby, that wouldn't bother me one bit. And I would tell people, it's like, dude, if you good, you'll be all right.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I think a lot of it is inherently with the Tiger engine, why these decisions are being made. I think because the way they've done a lot of these tech developer meetings, I think GDC and stuff like that, when they were talking about it, the way they do their instances and the whole peer-to-peer, it's just weird overlapping. I don't want to say mess because I'm not a developer, but you know what I'm saying? It's like this weird overlapping way it's designed. And unfortunately, that's why we're not getting dedicated servers. It literally comes down to the way this thing is designed. But the hope is that if they can somehow, I don't know if it's possible, evolve the Tiger over, during the course of a life cycle of the game. We know there's not going to be a 3, at least they're not saying a number right now. But if they can somehow, during that course, upgrade the engine, it would be cool to see what the possibilities could do. You know what I'm saying? See how far they can expand it. Because that's something they need to do. Like the whole, whether it be the cross-play, whether it be, like I said, what they're going to do long-term for cheating, there's still a lot they got to figure out. So we'll see, man. I don't envy them. But I think at some point, like E was saying, I would love still a part 3, though.
Absolutely.
Long term. But we'll see.
Yeah, for sure on both. Excuse me. That's most of what we got for this week. I mean, obviously the TWAB was very light. And it seems like it's just, we got time.
And we got a lot of time on it.
We do got a lot of time. So if you're like, hey, I need a little break from this, something else is coming out tempting me, you got 3 months plus. You got time to go play a couple different games. I'm sitting here looking at Ghost, sitting in Act 2, and I'm over here like Horizon Zero Dawn comes out in literally a week, and I'm like, crap, I don't have enough time. That's what I'm worried about.
Right. I think between the 2 games and then November 10th?
November is going to be stupid.
You got some time, man.
That's so stupid. That timing is so crazy.
You got some time. I mean, we know that those events going to be a little grindy. We know that. Most likely they're going to make us do them strikes, do the EAZ, and do that stuff. But you know, once you bang it out, and then multiple character guys, you should have that done pretty fast. Then it's back to like just play games, play your games. We know what it is. November's gonna come. We give them the time that they need, and then we'd be right back in the mix.
Well, I think we probably screamed at each other enough for a little bit there. Probably need to wrap this thing up.
We need some social distancing.
Yeah, we definitely need some type of distancing. Different Discord servers for a little while, guys. We got to go in timeout. Cognito's got to go in the timeout channel. So
I gotta go to timeout here.
No, honestly, Forte, it's been fantastic to have you, Absolutely. Man. Thank you very much for joining us. Big friend of the show, and thank you very much for just like being a good piece of this community. Definitely being here to help, be a good part of it, a positive influence in everything that you do. So thank you. And this is kind of floor is yours, man, for anything you want to tell them, what you got coming up, anything you got we're working on, where they can find you, where they can watch you, all that stuff, man. It is all yours.
Yeah, man. First of all, this was like a dream being on here with you guys. Kai, I always tell Kai, when I was looking up the video with Slow-Mo, I was like, how long it's been since, I said it's been a year ago when Slow-Mo was on here. And in that video, Kai was like, oh yeah, Forte, we gonna get you in here soon. A year later. so I was like, okay. It's like he finally held up to his bargain. So that was cool. But no, man, you guys are amazing. I love what you guys do. You guys are a really big part of this community, even knowing you guys feel like, you know, you don't get as much love as you think you should, because I think you guys deserve way more than what you actually get. Just know that the people that actually do watch and support you actually do care and want you guys to be as best as you can be. And I'll be there to root you on at 50,000 when you hit it, Ebontis. So
thank you, guys.
He's close. He's close.
Yeah, he's close, man. Just under 800. Please. What, 800 away?
Look, I know we fought today and I hate him today, but please subscribe to him because he's awesome.
Right, exactly. You know, so I'm gonna even do even better job of making sure that I push out that content to make sure that, you know, everybody knows who Ebontis is, because I feel like you need to be even bigger than you are.
Absolutely.
But for myself, it's Gaming Forte everywhere, YouTube and Twitter. 2 channels. I got my basically Xbox and PlayStation channel, Gaming Forte. That's the main channel. My love of consoles will never die, and the community that I have fostered with the people like Cognito and everybody that helped me build it is something that I truly appreciate. So that's where most of the content is. I literally just did start a Destiny one all over again because it just doesn't fit with the main channel anymore. And I always just wanted to find a niche for it. And the niche is, well, when I play Destiny on PC, I don't see too many people talking about the ultra wide aspect of the game. Playing on an ultra wide monitor, I have a 34-inch one. It's a complete game changer.
Yes. On
top of the field of view that you could play at, the things that you can see and do in that environment are amazing, and it doesn't just stem just from Destiny. It's any game you play. So I'm literally going to build my Destiny content basically around the ultra wide field of view and let people know like the things you can do. And that basically came from a video I did about 2 years ago when Destiny came out, and I said on PC, and I was like Destiny and ultra wide, and that video did like 10,000 views just because it was an ultra wide video. And I was like, they always say get a niche. And, you know, Destiny, the one thing about Destiny is it's a lot of people making videos on it. And it's hard to try to fit in somewhere. So that's where I want to fit my niche in. So if you're interested in that, it's going to be called Ultra Wide Forte. Got to keep the Forte in there.
Oh, the exclusive.
Ultra Wide Forte. Channel's already made. Videos are going up on that in the next week or so. So I can get back to that love of Destiny, because I love making content. And if you guys make videos and stuff on Destiny and need help with editing things, just reach out to me, man. I'm always there to help with that too. But outside of that, man, I'm here in the channel just to help you guys and support you two wonderful people in the channels that you guys have.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, first of all, shout out to Forte, because like I said, long overdue, one of the most passionate Destiny content creators. I mean, Man, like we took. Listen, discussions that go down here, this goes down like regular. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
So
It's real.
It's real. Like it's just passion, y'all. You gotta understand. We all brothers. We love this game. And one thing about him, he is a staunch defender of Destiny. And besides the defender of Destiny, he really supports the community. So whoever's a content creator, whoever who's out there putting the work in, who's putting the grind, you can always catch Forte either supporting all throughout, you know what I'm saying? Whether showing up or just being there for the community. So definitely, Ambassador, please support him. Please represent his channel. You know what I'm saying? He's doing big things. And it's good to see that he's branching out, doing the ultra wide joint. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be good. I'm going to check that out. By the
way, I can only imagine. So jealous.
Yeah, man. This guy is really a great player at Destiny. So salute to him. We had to do this, get it going. You know what I'm saying? That's
Absolutely.
What's up. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Always love. So yes, Salty Man, you missed the whole thing.
we are wrapping up right now.
We wrapping up, bro. We went long.
It'll be on VOD.
Yeah, man. You'll find it.
Yeah,
on the YouTube.
There will be a clip going up.
Oh yeah, well, I already know what the clip's going to be.
I'm waiting for the biased nature of that clip. I might have to dig up my own clip on the other side.
Why I gotta be biased? You know I keep it fair.
Oh, you already know. I'm real quick to like go through a video and clip out what I want and post it on YouTube and say, look at Cog being a complete nuthead right now, and he gonna try to get us right now. I see.
The clip's going down. But all jokes aside, look, man, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, for me, you already know at Lord Cognito on Twitter, iLaw Podcast on YouTube, all that good stuff. Every Sunday is the Lord's Day, 1 p.m. No, actually, 11 special time, 11 a.m. this Sunday. Only for this Sunday, we are accommodating the great Benji sales. So we're gonna have some market data analysts going in. We're gonna break down these sales. We're gonna break down what's going on in the industry. We've got a lot of PC titles really doing well right now. Shout out to Grounded, a lot of other stuff. Shout out to Forte for making Slow-Mo play Grounded. That was a hilarious, absolutely hilarious stream that I was a part of. So salute to Forte for that. But yeah, we're going to be talking about that. A lot of industry trends, maybe a little bit Halo Infinite and what's going on with PlayStation. So check that out. And also, last but not least, please, lordsofgaming.net. I appreciate the support. We're doing a little well with that. And King of Statues, my brother King David, with the, again, if you're into the Marvel, the DC stuff, please salute him. He has his whole playlist up on the channel. And again, salute to my man Forte. What you got going on?
For me, yeah. I mean, of course, over the usual stuff between Stream and Ghost and then working on different content for you guys in this right now. So just kind of going back and forth, debating on kind of working on the prophecy guide potentially with like non-meta setup, because I did a meta, but potentially a non-meta attempt to see how that goes. Somebody threw the stupid idea in my mind of potentially doing back-to-back flawless dungeons. I have no idea when that may happen, but I got 100 days to figure that one out. That sounds stupid, but with the practice with Ares yesterday, it seems like it wouldn't be the quickest thing in the world, but it might be doable. So maybe
what happens if you beat one and die on the second one?
Start over. You have to do all 3 dungeons have to be flawless back to back. With no break besides the bathroom. It's like you go to orbit.
You go in the stream.
You go to the next one. And then you go to orbit and you go to the next one.
Are we going to stream this, sir?
Oh, whenever it happens, yeah, it'll be a terrifying thing to consider. I gotta start practicing them. Let's just say that I gotta practice some of these.
I will make a commitment right now, sir. The moment you do that, I will donate 10 subs to your channel.
Yes, that let me know whatever.
I'll donate 10 subs to your channel the moment that happens.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I was like, somebody said Glad did it, and I was just like, I've done them all separate. Now to do them back to back is like, I don't know. It's
turning into esoteric on me, man.
Yeah,
he was once human.
No, esoteric will do what I do with an eye patch and a hand tied behind his back. Like, no, it's like esoteric's another level from pretty much all of us. But it seemed like something fun because there are 3. I don't know. Might work on that one. So we got some time, but that's like
y'all heard it.
That's a stretch challenge. That's a stretch challenge. Don't expect it tomorrow or anything by any means.
My head hurt already listening to thinking about that.
Amaze. What is up? The home of the vibes in here. Coming
the vibes in the building.
Man.
What's going on?
So good.
Right at the end, brother. Damn, we just wrap it up.
Yep. But yeah, for me, just stupid, dumb stuff like that for a little while on Twitch. Guides for you guys working on whether it's builds or anything else or anything just to help you guys into the fall and just kind of staying in tune with any news that we get on this game is the big key. And then obviously, watching the big Xbox and PlayStation reveals as we get into the fall. So lots to look forward to. Can't wait to see what all this brings. We're in what I would call a little bit of a quiet time, depending on what you're paying attention to. But it doesn't feel like we're ever too far away from something fun coming up. So,
right.
Well, guys, this has been fantastic. Forte, again, thank you, sir. As I said, pleasure to have you. Glad we finally made it work. Long overdue. Chat, you guys have all been fantastic, and some of you guys just grabbed the popcorn and watched the show. So it has been entertaining. I'm kind of worried about what clips Cognitos is going to post. Just know if you see a clip if you see clips on Iron Lord's podcast, that is definitely him posting. I might have to reply. No. We'll see about the biased clip nature. I'm calling it now. But anyways, it will be fair. For today, it is July 31st. Thank you guys. Episode 114. This has been a fantastic one. And for all of us here, our guest, Cognito, and myself, it has been the last word.